San Jose, fame and fortune are on the line, and the stakes have never been higher. The season 11 Bay 101 Shooting Star begins now, and it's only on the WPT.
Well, there you see Paul Volpe for the second WPT event in a row. His chip leader coming to the final table with $5.4 million. Erik Seidel in second place. That's what they're playing for. Over $1.1 million going to the winner tonight.
That's right. The antes are 5,000. Blinds are 15 and 30. To the felt we go. Chang, businessman out of Albany, California, pretty close to here.
It's his fifth WPT cash.
He's going to quickly fold his hand.
Joe Kuether going out.
Yep. Joe Nguyen also folding. Erik Seidel not going to play, so it's around the horn to Chris Johnson.
The battle of the blinds. Chris, a pro poker player, plays cash games in Las Vegas for the most part, up against one of the great tournament players in the world, Paul Volpe. It's ace-jack for Chris, and look, Paul's got ace-queen.
We started with like 2.8.
Yeah, Volpe with ace-queen. Nice kicker compared to Chris Johnson here.
You can see some big fireworks pre-flop, but no. Paul Volpe opts to just call with the ace-queen, going to camouflage the strength of his hand. Let's see how that works out for him. Well, flop 9-4 deuce, no help to anybody.
Action on Chris Johnson. He's going to slow down, no continuation bet. Checks to Paul Volpe. And Volpe's going to take control here, making a bet of 90,000.
Well, Chris going to make the call.
Chris in a bit of trouble right now.
Well, he's in a lot of trouble right now, Vince, as you point out, because he's drawing completely dead.
Queen, that is great for Volpe. Hitting his queens. Chris Johnson checks. Volpe going to stick in another bet, 200,000.
Well, Chris is going to make this call, and whatever he puts in here from here out, he's just throwing away, Vince. He cannot win this pot. Doesn't matter what comes up.
He's gotten stubborn. He's made the call. 8 of clubs on the river. Irrelevant card. Johnson going to check again.
Well, again, Volpe reaching for chips, and why not? Top pair, top kicker. 475,000 is the bet. And there you see Chris hitting the thinker position. What to do now?
Oh, boy. Don't do it to yourself.
Yep, he's done it.
26-year-old has done it. He's made the call. He's going to smart from that one. Paul Volpe, our chip leader, extends the chip lead in hand number 1.
Well, Chris recognizing Volpe's a very aggressive player, steals a lot of pots.
There's the Royal Flush Girls Social Bar, a great addition where the beautiful Royal Flush Girls entertain whoever wants to go up there and talk to them.
Well, Chris Johnson just got the treatment right there from Paul Volpe.
We're playing fast. A quick fold by Joe Kuether. Now, Joe Nguyen, who is a telephone repairman, has raised it. Seidel out. Look at this. A re-raise by Chris.
How aggressive is this guy playing, Vince? 3 bets with the queen 10 here. Chris Johnson has come to play, folks. No doubt about that.
Telephone man's going to make the call, so we're going to see the flop. Here it is.
Flop 9-7 deuce. No help to either player.
And Joe Nguyen, the repairman, checks it now. Chris Johnson hitting nothing there is going to bet 150.
Chris must have some kind of flight to catch out of here is all I know, fast as he's playing.
He is playing fast. Joe Nguyen, the local, is going to make this call, though. He's in front. Good instincts. Here comes the turn.
Now an 8 comes off. This gives both players a straight draw. Joe with a gut shot straight, and as you can see, Chris with the open-ended straight, and it goes check, check.
Yeah, down to the river we go. 6 of hearts.
What a card for Chris Johnson. He's made a straight. But look at this.
Oh, boy.
Joe Nguyen is representing that he's made one, Vince. He's let out and bet 225,000.
Local telephone repairman. If he gets called or raised.
Well, for sure he's getting called. You want to raise it with a 10-eye straight, but you say to yourself, you know, what can the guy call me with? You know, that he doesn't have the same hand. And if he's got a 10-jack, I'll go broke here. So I think calling here is the correct thing by Chris. I like this call by Chris.
Telephone man just got hung up on.
So Chris Johnson taking down a pot. He can breathe a little sigh of relief, Vince, because it looked like he was off to a very slow start, but catching that straight on the river is going to help his morale.
What a start here at Bay 101. This is good so far.
Well, no breather for Paul Volpe. He raises it up on the button with a 5 deuce offsuit. It gives you a glimpse of why Chris Johnson called him a minute ago, because this guy plays like
Look at this. Cayenne with a little suited connector. And now Joe Kuether from Vegas, 25 years old, also calling with King 10.
So we're going to have three-way action here. Flop his 5-4-3-2 clubs.
Uh-oh.
Look what Kai has flopped, folks. The nut straight with a straight flush draw. Well, he subtly checks it.
Joe is checked. Paul Volpe betting with a pair of fives. Oh, wow.
You know that Paul Volpe thinks that's a pretty good flop for him. Top pair and an open-end straight draw. Little does he know the kind of problems he's got here.
Kai Chang with the nuts, the cinch.
He does check raise it here.
Makes it 335 now. Kuether going away, and now Volpe's saying, how much has this guy got?
Well, it's a $200,000 raise, so Paul can afford to make it. On the left of Paul Volpe's name, there are chip stack indicators. And as you can see, Paul Volpe, the chip leader.
Making the call. Here we go with the turn.
Queen of spade comes off. Paul Volpe drawing dead.
Fine.
And an all-in bet by Kai.
2.7 million bet. That's an overbet in my opinion. I mean, you want your opponent to play this hand. But the overbet runs Paul Volpe out of the pot.
Is that like 3 million?
Kai hoping he flopped two pair or something where he might call.
Got a bet to fold, right? Try it. He's not gonna fold.
And this is a guy that graduated out of UC Berkeley. Tremendous school, of course.
That's one thing you like about Kai. He's competed in Ironman competitions.
He's a great athlete, huh? Back to this hand. Joe Nguyen is going to fold. Now the Erik Seidel. The great player is going to get warmed up. King 10 makes it 60,000. But right behind him, Chris Johnson with ace 10. Repops here, makes it 140 to go.
As you can see, Chris Johnson is a three-bet man. We saw him do it a minute ago with a queen 10. Now he's done it with an ace 10.
Everyone else releasing their hands back on Seidel. He's going to make this call. King 10 versus ace 10. And here come the first three.
Now flop is queen 7-3 rainbow.
Yeah, Seidel checks. Chris Johnson here. There's his wife, Brooke. And the young guy, 26-year-old, out of Henderson, Chris Johnson making the continuation bet. Erik Seidel's going to fold. And Chris Johnson playing fast and playing well.
We know you have an important decision this year when it comes to where you play online poker in America. Oh wait, a lot of you can't. Well, we're proposing a new place to play poker in the USA, Club WPT Gold. That's right, online poker is back in America. 3 people who pre-register this week at clubwptgold.com will win a golden passport for a $5 million free roll tournament this December in Las Vegas. When you register, use promo code YouTube to be eligible to win a golden passport. Good luck and see you soon on Club WPT Gold.
Action on Erik Seidel, quick fold. Chris Johnson also out. And now Paul Volpe with a king 10 will raise to 80,000.
Now Kai Chang right behind him. He's got the suited connectors you like to see flops with. He's also got position. He's going to make the call.
Now Joe Kuether out of Vegas, originally Wisconsin, will fold his hand. And Joe Nguyen.
Wow, a little surprised he'd fold that for 40,000, but he did.
So here we go. King 10 versus 8-7. And the flop comes up. Look at that. 3 queens.
Well, lucky ladies. 3 queens come out there. Well, Volpe going to make the continuation bet here.
Kai Chang with nothing. Going to make a min raise. Makes it 200,000.
He is going to represent that he's got a full house, some kind of small pair in his hand. Volpe not buying it and makes the call. What a call by Volpe here. Well, a jack comes off. And Paul's going to check. Could Kai possibly make another bet here, Vince? He is not slowing down, Vince. He is firing again. Just 150,000, though. Pot's got 650,000 in it. Will Volpe figure this out? Well, Volpe throws it away. Chalk that pot up to the aggression of Kai Chang. Well played right there. Businessman, my foot, Vince. This guy is a poker player.
Ace high.
Show my quads.
Pocket two.
There'll be a lot of imagination there by the guy that's a graduate of UC Berkeley. Right now, Paul Volpe, 5.8 million. Chang has now taken second chip position with 3.5.
Erik dropping down to third.
All right, back to the table we go. The next hand, Erik Seidel folds.
Chris Johnson looks down at a pair of jacks. Nice hand here, comes in for 85,000.
Certainly does. A nice solid pair of jacks. Behind him, Paul Volpe with a queen 7 of hearts. Wow, he's getting out raising chips.
Well, he is 3-betting it up to 215,000. This sort of explains why Chris called him in that first pot. We've seen him raise with 5 deuce, 3 bets with queen 7s. Plays very aggressive, Volpe. Johnson knows it. Let's see what he's going to do now with the jacks as everybody else folds.
Call.
Well, he's just going to make the call. Not going to re-raise. So we have jacks up against queen 7 of hearts. And to the flop we go.
Flop comes king 5-3, so the overcard comes out there. You never like to see that when you get a pair of jacks. You don't want to see aces or kings come up, but it has. And Volpe has bet.
That's 180 with his nothing. But this Chris he's tough and stubborn. He's going to make this call.
Yep, not going anywhere. Calls 180,000.
To the turn we go.
Oh, nice turn card there for Volpe. Gives him a flush draw.
Chris going to check again. Volpe now seeing an opportunity. He's bluffing with nothing, and now he's got a 4 flush. So he's going to stick out another bluff, it appears.
Well, he could take the free card off here if he wanted to. Forget about free cards with this guy. 440,000. And that will put the test to Chris Johnson. But Vince, he passed it with flying colors. Calls without hesitation here.
Auto call. Beautifully done by Chris. Down to the river we go.
I'll put the caution lights on right there for Volpe.
No flush for Volpe. Pairs the board with deuces.
Well, Chris checks. Volpe has got to understand if he got called on the turn, he's going to get called on the river. Will he throw more chips away? Nope. Smart enough to recognize he's going to get called on the river. He makes a good check on the river. Chris Johnson taking down the pot with jacks up.
Yeah, very nicely done by Chris Johnson. And there's his wife and family rooting him on. Pretty wide open. Action on Joe Nguyen. He's a telephone repairman out of Sunnyvale, California. This is his hometown casino. He folds the hand.
Yeah, Joe got in this tournament by winning a $500 satellite. What a parlay. Erik Seidel with the 2 deuces, going to raise it up to 80,000.
A lot of folds around to Joe out of Vegas. Now he's got a pair of 4s here.
Well, you always want to see flops when you have small pairs.
Yep, that's exactly what he's going to do. No raise, he just calls. Deuces versus 4s. Here's the flop.
You know, ace 8-5.
Helps neither player. Joe gonna check.
Well, Erik's going to make the continuation bet. It's going to be tough for Joe to continue.
110, a TC flyer. Quick ejection by Joe. And the great Erik Seidel gonna take a pot with just deuces. 6 players remain, going after over 1.1 million at the Bay 101. We're coming back with more action on the World Poker Tour. Stay with us. Back down to Joe Kuether out of Vegas. Quick fold by him.
And Joe Nguyen picks up the ace 8 of hearts.
He's gonna raise 90,000 with it. Seidel and Chris Johnson out, as well as Paul Volpe.
Well, Chang looks down at the ace 10 out of the big blind. He's going to make the call.
So 2-way action, 2 locals. Here's the flop.
9-7-3. Both players have backdoor nut flush draws and backdoor straight draws.
And they both check. To the turn we go.
Now 9 comes off now, pairing the board. You see Joe Nguyen with the nut flush draw, but you see Chang making a bet, 100,000.
But he's going to get called. And the river card is a 6 of diamonds.
Action on Kai.
I'm on.
Wow. What the heck?
He goes all in here. Only 400,000 in the pot. Well, Joe Nguyen obviously can't call. Would take all his chips at 1.9 million to make this call, but
And he will release it.
Can't call if you have a pair, right?
Chang going to take this pot.
well, Kai thought if he had a small pair, he'd lay it down.
There's John Nguyen in the audience. That's Joe's brother. Joe, of course, is a telephone repairman.
All the relatives coming out today, Vince. No doubt about it.
Lines are up to 25 and 50. Now action's on Chris Johnson. And Chris is going to raise with a king 4 of diamonds. Call out.
Yeah, Kai Chang with the worst 2-card starting hand you can have and hold him. 7 deuce, lays it down.
Joe Kuether also out. Now Joe Nguyen picking up a interesting 7-5 of diamonds. Will make this call and pray.
It's the kind of hand you like to see flops with, but you don't like to see those flops. King, queen, 10 with 2 spades, about as far away from your hand as possible. He checks.
Look decent for Chris, hitting top pair. Gonna make a continuation bet, 125.
And Joe Nguyen has no hand, no draw, but he's not mucked his hand here, Vince. Is he possibly going to raise this? He is check raised here with absolute goulash.
He's gonna get a little fancy here. He's gonna try a pop, 275 to go.
Well, Chris might think he's on a spade draw. Maybe he's got a jack in his hand, possibly a jack 10, where his kings would still be good, so he makes the call with the kings.
You can't push around Chris Johnson too easily. We've seen tonight so far. Now look at this. Chris is making 2 pair here.
Yeah, he's made 2 pair. He's happy to see it, but
325.
he's still very nervous because there's a possible flush and a possible straight out there.
Joe's coming out with a bet, 325.
Well, Chris Johnson going nowhere.
Solid call by Chris Johnson. Down to the river we go. Joe has got to be sick at this point.
Well, the deuce of spade comes off, so 4 spades on the board. Neither player has a spade in their hand.
Complete quagmire for both players at this point, but look at this.
Wow.
Not for Joe.
800,000 he's bet, Vince.
He's just saying, if this guy doesn't have a big spade, I can win this perhaps.
And Vince, he's one of the short stacks making this kind of move. That is bold poker right there. He should shoot his arms up in the air.
He's going to show the bluff.
Oh, yeah. Put the salt in the moon right there. And Vince, you can't blame Chris Johnson for throwing it away. You just wonder if the 4 spade hadn't come up, would he have called on the river?
That river misses, you never call. No, never.
Oh, boy. He is playing now, and the crowd is loving it. Joe Nguyen, the local, making it work there. 6 players remain.
Good play, Joe. It's impressive.
And they are impressed at the table. Right now, Kai Chang is now the chip leader, Mike, with 5.4. Paul Volpe with 4.9. Right back to this very hand. Got a few folds around. Now it's on Joe Nguyen. Who's got to be revved up by that last play. Now he's going to raise here with a king 10.
How could you not be pumped after stealing a pot like that?
Erik Seidel now in the big blind is going to call this with a 6-7.
Well, Eric's got position on him, wants to see a flop here. Flop comes king 5 deuce with 2 hearts. Joe flopping top pair here and checking.
That is right. No continuation bet. He's going to give the rope to Seidel, and Seidel is going to bite. He's going to try to bluff it at 125.
Look at this, Vince.
Joe with a quick call.
Joe is walking the dog, as we say. You're checking to your opponent just to let them keep betting at the pot. Now there's 3 hearts on the board. Joe has top pair and a flush draw. Erik Seidel, of course, drawn completely dead. He's just going to try to keep bluffing at this pot. It's the only way he can win it.
Joe is checked into him again. And Seidel going to push in more of his hard-earned money, 290. And Joe now just going to call.
He's just going to check and call all the way down here, Vince. That's what it looks like to me. Just walking the dog to perfection right now. Let's see what happens on the river. Board pairs deuces.
Seidel with nothing now. Does Joe come out with a little potential value bet? No, he's going to check again.
He's checked all the way. Not going to bet now. And here comes Erik Seidel. Wow, 825,000. Vince, you just wonder, has Joe Nguyen seen the movie Rounders? Does he know who this guy is? He's checked and called him on every street so far, and he's done it again, and rightly so. Wow. Vince, he won the max possible by checking to the aggressive Erik Seidel and letting him bluff his money off.
We know you have an important decision this year when it comes to where you play online poker in America. Oh wait, a lot of you can't. Well, we're proposing a new place to play poker in the USA, Club WPT Gold. That's right, Online poker is back in America. 3 people who pre-register this week at clubwptgold.com will win a golden passport for a $5 million free roll tournament this December in Las Vegas. When you register, use promo code YouTube to be eligible to win a golden passport. Good luck and see you soon on Club WPT Gold.
Here's the chip leader right now, Chang, with 5.2 million in chips.
Chang, a businessman, but make no mistake, it's his 5th cash on the WPT. He is a player.
And he's at 5,000, blinds at 25 and 50. Action on Chris Johnson. And Chris has an ace-10. And he's gonna raise to 105.
Well, we've seen Chris play very aggressive so far at this final table.
Everyone folds around to the great Erik Seidel, who's in the big blind with a jack-8. He's gonna make the call. Here comes the flop.
Well, flop comes 4-3 deuce. No help to Erik. It does give Chris a straight draw. If I would give him a straight, he could backdoor spades as well. And he is going to bet.
That makes that continuation bet 125. And now Seidel looks down at his nothing hand, jack-8. And whoa, look at this.
Check raise to 300,000. What a play by Erik Seidel here.
Well, you see the craftiness of a Seidel. Just taking his plunge right here. Now, will it work?
Come on.
What?
Unbelievable. Chris Johnson has gone all in. I mean, Erik could have flopped a set of 2s or 3s there pretty easy. Maybe even add a straight, but Chris Johnson just thought he was pulling the move. He's exactly right about that. Erik just posturing here. 0 chance he can call. He has nothing. So he's going to throw the hand away. Just a matter of when. But what an all-in bet by Chris Johnson there for his tournament life. Vince, this guy's aggressiveness has really impressed me at this final table.
Seidel's just got to be saying to himself, it used to be easy. Who are these guys? I make a move like that, the guy comes back over the top. That is tough poker.
Well, action's going to be on Volpe, the guy that came to this final table as chip leader, and it's the 2nd WPT event in a row. Never been done before in the history of the tour. Going to raise it here to 100,000.
With ace-6. Fold by Chang and Kuether. Joe Nguyen is going to make this call with queen-6 of diamonds. Everyone's fold, but Joe Nguyen. Here we go with the flop. Queen 10-3. That is nice for Joe Nguyen, hitting queens. And Paul Volpe's going to bet 125. A quick call by Joe.
Joe going nowhere, makes the call with top pair.
And now the turn card. 7 of hearts. So Paul Volpe with nothing.
Well, he checks, and before he got the check finished, Joe Nguyen had chips going in the pot. He bet that fast.
Yeah, 150. Usually that's a sign of weakness, but maybe Paul's thinking that because he's making his call. Down to the river we go. And a jack on the river.
Well, Volpe's got to recognize now there's no hand he can beat. Volpe going to try to represent. He's got ace-king or something, I guess. He is going to bet here. It looks like. Incredible. 510,000. Joe's going to be saying to himself, does this guy really have ace-king?
Call. Call.
I don't believe it. I'm calling him, and another good call by Joe Nguyen. These guys will get the message soon. Quit trying to bluff this guy. The local, the amateur at the table doing great so far, no doubt about it.
Ring-a-ding-ding for the telephone man.
It's been the amateurs crushing tonight, and so far it's just not happening for pros like Paul Volpe and Erik Seidel.
10,000 blinds at 30 and 60. Here we go. Couple folds around to Joe Kuether. Out of Vegas, 25 years old, gonna fold. Now Joe Nguyen also folding. Erik Seidel with just a 10-8, gonna call.
Check.
And Chris is gonna slow down with his 9-8.
Wow, first time Chris hasn't raised since he's been in the pot. And look at a flop here. Oh, great flop for Seidel. Comes 10-8 deuce. Erik has flopped the top 2 pair. Not slow playing him, firing right out.
Nothing tricky right there. Going to bet 90,000, but Chris is not going anywhere. He's got a little piece of that pair of eights. He's made the call.
He's got middle pair. Most people would call. Now the 4 spade comes off.
Red card there for Seidel. Can't really help.
Seidel is going to bet again.
250,000.
Well, Chris thinking Erik might possibly have a flush draw, some type of straight draw, may just be bluffing. He's going to call him for 250,000, drawing completely dead here. No card Chris can catch to win this pot.
Okay, and the river card comes up. It's a 3 of hearts, helps neither player.
Well, Erik getting out betting chips. 650,000 he's betting. Tough decision now for Chris Johnson as to what to do. Well, you see the anguish by Chris Johnson here. He knows virtually now all he can beat is a bluff.
There's his wife feeling his pain.
Chris Johnson, very religious guy. They go to church every Sunday.
Erik gave me the most problem yesterday. He's so smart and he's just so experienced. I've been thinking a lot about how I'm going to combat what he's been doing with me, so hopefully it works out.
Well, see how he combats this. I like the bet size here by Erik Seidel. There's 860 in the pot. He's bet 650,000, a little over what most guys would bet. They like to bet about half the pot. And Chris is thinking, this guy might be bluffing. And he's going to call. Just doesn't want to be bluffed out. But Erik Seidel shows down 2 pair, and he's going to win that pot. One he desperately needed.
All right, onto this hand. We have 3 folds. Around to the chip leader, Kai.
Well, he's on the button, in position. The 8-5 of spades, and as you can see, he's going to raise it.
To Joe Kuether. And Joe is, well, he's been on a drought tonight with hands, but now he picks up a pair of jacks.
All in.
And he's on the short stack, and he's going to push all in. Play is Joe Nguyen, and he's got the weapons of mass destruction, the pair of aces.
Unbelievable.
I'm all in.
Joe Nguyen's gone all in as well. Tough luck here for Joe Kuether. Finally picks up a hand on the short stack, 2 jacks, and the big blind finds 2 aces. Obviously, Kai going to get out of their way.
Unbelievable. Joe Kuether from Wisconsin, graduate of University of Wisconsin, in a heap of trouble right now against the local telephone repairman.
Well, he's a big Green Bay Packer fan, and right now the cheesehead looks like he's got Swiss cheese here with these jacks, unless he gets some help.
Let's see if Kuether can hit his jack. No, in fact, an ace hits on the flop, giving 3 of a kind to the local Joe Nguyen. The crowd going nuts.
Joe Kuether not dead, but not far off of it. He needs to catch 2 runners to make a straight or 2 running jacks to win this pot. Otherwise, he'll be out in 6th place.
Joe Kuether needs the miracle. Going to 4th Street. And the crowd is chanting queen. Put a queen out there.
Well, that's because that will end the hand. And a queen does come off. Incredible.
That is amazing.
Ace is full of queens. Going to win the pot for Joe Nguyen. That's going to do it for Joe Kuether, 25-year-old pro out of Elm Grove, Wisconsin. Nothing happened for him tonight, Vince. Out in 6th place.
Joe Kuether's going to take home 162,000. The crowd is going nuts here. That's going to make the hometown favorite, Joe Nguyen, now the chip leader. Right now, Joe Kuether over to talk to Matt Savage.
Joe, you never seem to get anything going out there tonight. What happened?
I mean, the last hand's obviously really standard, so yeah, nothing much I could do with that.
What's your experience been like this week?
I mean, it's been a lot of fun, obviously. Wish I could have fared a little bit better today, but, you know, I think I'll be back.
Yeah, it's your first final table. I'm sure it'll be more.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Back to you.
We know you have an important decision this year when it comes to where you play online poker in America. Oh, wait, a lot of you can't. Well, we're proposing a new place to play poker in the USA. Club WPT Gold. That's right, online poker is back in America. 3 people who pre-register this week at clubwptgold.com will win a golden passport for a $5 million free roll tournament this December in Las Vegas. When you register, use promo code YouTube to be eligible to win a golden passport. Good luck and see you soon on Club WPT Gold.
Joe Nguyen. Back to this hand. It's going to be on Chris Johnson. He's got king 10 of hearts, and he has moved in for a raise. 125. Volpe out. And now Chang.
Kai has 2 10s, but does not 3-bet it. Does not re-raise. It's a play I'm not really fond of because you entice the blinds to come in, and you see Erik Seidel doing so, meaning you have to be multiple players with 2 10s. Not easy to do.
Oh boy, a 10 on the flop, Mike.
A lot easier to do when you flop top set, that's for sure. Big trouble here for Chris Johnson. I see no way he's going to escape this hand, Vince. You're never going to put your opponent on an overpair because he didn't raise before the flop. I don't see him giving up top pair here. He's drawn virtually dead.
Well, he's bet, and then it's being re-raised now, of course, by Chang. Seidel gets out.
Well, as you can see by the chip stack indicator next to Chris Johnson's name, he's on the short stack.
All in.
Yeah, he's going to push all in.
I call.
The way the hand was played, you can't blame Chris for moving all in here. He knows he's drawn virtually dead. Got to hit 2 running kings to win this pot. He stands up. He knows it's about tapioca pudding time for him.
Well, he played so brilliantly throughout this, but the wheels are coming off right now for Chris Johnson. There's his wife saying a little prayer.
Well, she needs to say a big prayer to save him in this pot, Vince. No doubt about it.
High stakes cash player Chris Johnson.
Well, needs 2 running hearts or 2 running kings to win this pot, and the hearts that don't pair the board. It's a tall order.
Here comes the turn card. Will Chris get lucky? No, it's a jack of spades. That's going to wrap it up.
That's going to do it for the pro out of Las Vegas. Chris Johnson, the high stakes cash game player, out tonight in 5th place.
Pretty stunned right now. 208,000 he will get back. Great cash game player. Didn't get lucky here at the Bay 101, and he's over to talk to Matt Savage.
Chris, I know you're mainly a cash game player, but can you tell us a little bit about how this will help your bankroll towards that?
I mean, it's nice. It's 200,000. You know, it's really nice. But yeah, I was going for the million, so I'm really disappointed.
All right, well, can't be too disappointed. I'm sure we're going to see you again, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Kimberly, back to you.
Well, Vince, you can make a case for Paul Volpe for being the only player in WPT history to make back-to-back WPT final tables and come in as chip leader. Shouldn't that be worth something automatically, given the Player of the Year lead?
You're absolutely right. Very impressive. But right now, Chang is playing impressive poker, and he's got a 4 deuce of diamonds, going to raise to 125. Joe going out. And now Erik Seidel will look down at a, looks like queen 3 of diamonds.
Erik is going to raise back here. Makes it 300,000 to go. He 3-bets with the queen 3.
All going out. Chang is going to stick around for the flop. We got 4 deuce up against queen 3 of diamonds.
You get guys with a lot of chips out before they see the flop. And Kai has swapped an open-end straight draw as it comes 9-5-3 with 2 clubs. But here comes Erik making the continuation bet, 350,000.
Erik caught a piece of that. He's got the 3s. Now Chang.
Well, Vince, he might just ship it right here, in my opinion. He's got the open-end straight draw. He's got plenty of chips. Give himself a couple chances to make a straight if he gets called. See what he's going to do here.
Kai is just going to call. See another card. Here comes the turn.
Look on Erik's face, about says it all.
Jack of spades doesn't help either player. Erik's going to check.
Come on.
Now comes the all-in by Kai.
Well, Vince, it may be stronger calling on the flop and moving all in on the turn. Your opponent thinks you got something.
Yep, and Erik, very disgusted, lays down the cards.
Chang is playing impressive poker, folks. No doubt about that. Action is on Erik Seidel.
This time he's got a big ace-10.
120.
Makes it 120 to go. Volpe out.
Yeah, Vince, you're right about Erik not looking happy. Looks like Ichabod Crane and lost his horse.
All right, Chang going out.
Okay.
But now look at this. Joe Nguyen with queen 4 diamonds. We'll see the flop. So Erik in a nice place here with ace-10 up against queen 4 diamonds. And here we go.
Nice flop for Erik. Comes ace, king, jack. He's got top pair and a straight draw.
Look at Joe. Joe's got the flush draw and a straight draw. And Joe's going to check, and Erik checking behind him. That's puzzling. 7 of hearts on the turn.
I'm all in.
Joe's going to take over and go all in.
The guys are really tough. They are hyper-aggressive, and they know what works and what doesn't. They really put the heat on. These guys can do anything, and, but that's part of the fun.
And I can't believe this. He's going to lay this down, Mike.
Vince, I'm shocked he didn't bet the flop, and I'm stunned He didn't call that. He laid that down thinking his aces were beat, Vince, with his chip stack with flop top pair, and just give it up that easily. It really does tell me that Erik's mind right now is just whirring away and saying, wow, what is going on here? These guys are just so aggressive. I don't want to play with them.
Pretty startling right there for Erik to do that, but did it nonetheless.
On we go. Action on Volpe.
Wow, look at this. Paul has picked up a monster hand, pair of kings.
He's happy to see those.
Makes it 120 to go. Chang with just a 7-4 spade is going to give him action and call.
Well, he's on the button. He's running good. So he calls there. Now we're around to the small blind, Joe Nguyen, who looks down at ace-10 of spade. And the question is, do you just call or do you 3-bet here? Well, he is going to 3-bet it. He is going to raise 350,000.
Erik out. Now, what an opportunity for Paul Volpe.
Remember, there's another player still in the pot, so no chance in my mind that Volpe's just going to call here, because you don't want the other player coming in where you got to be 2 players with kings. You get big pairs, you want to streamline the pot down to you and one other person.
Paul Volpe came in as the chip leader, and now an opportunity to get some money back. He is going to raise. Makes it 7:30 to go.
Also an online poker superstar, Volpe is. And he has raised it, and a snap call by Joe Nguyen there after Chang gets out of the way.
So Joe with the ace-10 of spades. Paul Volpe with a very dangerous pair of kings. Here we go with the flop.
Well, 5-3-3 the flop. Great flop for Volpe. Action on Joe Nguyen. Can't imagine he'd lead out into a 4-better pre-flop. He checked, and Volpe trying to figure out how much to bet. There's 1.7 million in the pot. And he checks. Vince, I am stunned that he would check with all that money sitting out there.
Taking a big gamble, and the gamble doesn't pay off because an ace comes on the turn.
Well, it's unbelievable. Vince has got nobody to blame but himself.
And Joe's going to play the ace is sneaky now. He checks it.
Well, Vince, he checks it because he's now afraid Volpe had ace-king or something.
They both check.
So it goes check, check.
This is a mess of a hand right now.
Well, now a 9 comes off. Look at this. Joe Nguyen bets 100,000 into a pot that's got 1.7 million in it. We've never seen such a small bet into a big pot in the history of the World Poker Tour. And I guarantee you, Volpe is not going to be able to figure this out.
That is just a complete puzzle. Conundrum, as we like to say.
Well, for sure he's going to conundrum 100,000 out there just to see what the guy's got. You're not throwing kings away for all that money for 100,000.
But the thing is, it's almost inducing a raise because you're saying, I want some value. And that's exactly what it's going to do. Volpe's going to raise now.
Well, he has raised it to 700,000, and Nguyen might think he might have aces full or something, you know? How could he wait to the river to raise?
I call.
When Joe makes the call, Volpe turns up his kings proudly and is not going to believe it when his opponent turns up aces.
Oh! Paid at Bay 101 as Volpe, disgusted, realizes that he played it poorly. Oh, that's going to hurt.
Well, Vance, in my mind, with all that money in the pot, you have to bet the flop with 2 kings there. You just have to. And then just to raise on the river there like he did to cost him more money, he is not a happy camper now.
We know you have an important decision this year when it comes to where you play online poker in America. Oh wait, a lot of you can't. Well, we're proposing a new place to play poker in the USA, Club WPT Gold. That's right, online poker is back in America. 3 people who pre-register this week at clubwptgold.com will win a golden passport for a $5 million free roll tournament this December in Las Vegas. When you register, use promo code YouTube to be eligible to win a golden passport. Good luck and see you soon on Club WPT Gold.
Table we go. Paul Volpe, first in line.
Incredible, the 2 top pros getting schooled here by the 2 amateurs. No doubt about it. They're way out in front in chip count.
And Paul's made it 120 to go with ace-queen. Chang with a nothing hand. 4 deuce of spades is making this call, Mike.
Well, the last time he played a 4 deuce, he won a big pot with it, so why not play this one too? Running good. Let's see what happens.
Well, Joe's out, but Erik now with 7-3 of diamonds.
I mean, it's going to cost him $60,000 to call, but there's $370,000 in the pot, so he's getting priced in to see the flop as well. So three-way action. And the flop comes 8-3 deuce. Erik Seidel has the best hand with 2 threes, but he checks. Volpe making the continuation bet of $155,000. Kai's got bottom pair. He's got 2 deuces. Backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw. He's going to make the call.
Erik going out.
And I got the best hand out of the way.
So two-handed action now.
Now a jack comes off. Something to give an Erik Seidel a flush draw to go along with the best hand.
Paul Volpe's going to check. They both check, and look at this river card.
5 of spade comes off.
Ace queen.
Fella goes check, check. It's going to be the 2 deuces to take down this pot. So Kai Chang winning yet another pot with 2 deuces, even though Erik would have won the pot, but can't really fault him for folding on that flop. One guy bet, one guy called. You have middle pair. You're short stacked. You just hate to jeopardize all your money with that hand. But still, he would have won.
Yes, he would have. All right, the antes are now 10,000. Blinds are 40 and 80. Action on Seidel. Quick fold. He's got to be getting frustrated at this point. And now Paul with a queen, 9 of hearts, makes it 160 to go.
I'm going to raise on the button with that. Kai Chang calling with the ace-6 of diamonds out of the small blind. And look at this. Joe Nguyen wants to join the party. He's just got a 4-deuce offsuit, but thinks he's getting priced in. He's calling also. 4-deuce looks like the ticket here tonight.
Flop comes up 5-5-3. Joe Nguyen is checked out of turn.
Did you check? No, not yet.
He's not going to check his ace high. He's going to bet at 225.
Now Joe Nguyen with the open-end straight draw. What do you do now? I think he's going to make the call. And Paul Volpe gets out of their way.
So ace high up against open-ended.
When an ace comes off,
boy,
this gives Kai aces up. He checks them wisely. But little does he know, Joe Nguyen has a straight. You're just not going to put a guy on a deuce-4 offsuit, Vince.
Joe's going to bet 250,000.
Far more afraid of 3-5s than you are a deuce-4 offsuit here, but either one of them have you beat.
But Kai is going to call.
Hard not to call with aces up here.
Down to the river. Jack of diamonds helps neither player.
Well, it actually strengthened Kai's hand in case his opponent had ace-8 or ace-9.
And he's going to check that.
And Joe Nguyen going to bet his straight, 325,000. And it's enough to get paid off with. Straight. Joe turns up the straight, going to take down the pot and extend his chip lead. Joe Nguyen is dabbing it right now, Vince. And how about that 4-deuce? Wins every pot.
Joe Nguyen bought this tournament through a satellite, only $500.
Nice hand, Joe.
He is making the dream come true here tonight.
Good thing I didn't go on.
He is doing it tonight. And he's out in front with 9.7 million in chips.
That's crazy.
The all-in thing again.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Don't apologize.
Well, the dream of Erik Seidel to capture his second WPT title is going to be just that shortly, a dream, unless he gets something going here. He's just been marching with 2 left feet all night long, hadn't caught much. When he has caught a hand, he's folded.
All right, it's on Kai Chang. He's got 8-5 of hearts, gonna raise. Makes it 175 to go. Joe gonna call with 10-7 of diamonds. Erik out. And now it's on Paul Volpe, who's picked up ace-king.
All in.
He says all in.
Yeah, no more slow playing like he did those kings.
Yeah, he's learned his lesson there. Kai out. And Joe won't play either, so Paul Volpe finally coming back. Gets some chips back in his stack. Erik Seidel is circling the drain. He's down to 720. Action on Paul Volpe, a quick fold. And now Kai Chang with king 10 is raised to 175.
Joe Nguyen loves to play. He makes the call with the ace-8.
Erik goes out. So ace-8 versus king-10, and the flop comes up ace-6-5. Aces for Joe Nguyen.
Nice flop for Joe Nguyen. He's going to check the aces, though. Going to allow Kai to make a continuation bet here, and that's what's happened. 175,000.
Joe Nguyen, telephone repairman, very tricky. Loves to have these guys bet when he hits. And he's making the call.
Now an 8 comes off. Joe Nguyen has the top 2 pair. As you can see, Kai drawing completely dead. No card he can catch to win the pot. And yet here he goes, firing 200,000 out there.
And now finally Joe coming in, swooping down, says raise.
It's the minimum raise, but it is a raise, and obviously no way Kai can go any farther with this hand. He's just posturing here. Does lay it down.
Well, Mike, these are the 2 chip leaders, and they're going for the throat.
Joe Nguyen taking down yet another pot, and Vince, in my mind, Erik Seidel has got to make something happen fast. Only got 600,000 or so left. Just can't wait anymore. That bounty necklace is going in the center of the pot soon, I promise you that.
It's true, but he is a shrewd guy, and he's just thinking to himself, why force the issue? Because the difference between 4th place and 3rd place is big, big money. So he's saying maybe this Paul will get involved with a hand. He'll get knocked out right before. So there's a lot of different strategies going on right now.
Well, Erik Seidel just doesn't have time to wait, Vince.
Maybe he doesn't, but back to this hand. Look at this. Kai Chang has picked up the weapons of mass destruction, the pair of aces.
Well, Kai's been so aggressive, raising a lot of pots with 4 deuces and everything else. Now all of a sudden he's picked up 2 aces.
Makes it 175, but Joe Nguyen behind him with a pair of deuces. This could get him into some trouble here.
Joe certainly not worried about clashing with a guy in 2nd place. He is going to re-raise here, 3-bet it to 350,000.
Erik goes out, as does Paul. Back on the man with the hand.
It's like a dream come true. You're up against a chip leader. You've got aces, and he has 3-bet you. Pinch me. Is it really happening? And I'm certain he's going to 4-bet here, just a matter of how much.
Fantastic, and there comes a big re-raise. Close to 1.4 million total in chips.
Yep, it's about $1 million re-raise here, and as you can see, Joe wisely thinking this one out as he takes a gulp of water there.
Well, it's smart for
How much is that?
Kai not to play this slow. You got a guy that has position on you. Make him pay for it if he wants to stick around at this point, because you're first to act throughout the hand.
Call that.
Well, Joe Nguyen, we've seen, likes to play a lot of hands, calls a lot of bets. Will he call this one? Or worse yet, would he raise?
And he's just thinking to himself, I just wish I would have just called it. See if I can flop a set. Now, big trouble. Don't want to invest too much.
Normally, Joe Nguyen acts pretty fast. Good thing he thought that one out. He got away from it. Nice lay down by Joe. Chang takes down the pot with the 2 aces, but he was really hoping that Joe would pull the trigger there.
Made me lay down a pair. The biggest pair in the deck.
Vince, it's crunch time for Erik Seidel. He just cannot wait any longer. I predict it's all going in this hand or the next hand. That's my prediction. If he's got any kind of hand at all. And he's only got 7 big blinds left. That's why I say he's got to make a move.
Great thinking, Captain Obvious. Let's see what he does with it. Joe's folding now. Erik. Oh, there you go, Mike. You are correct, sir.
He picked up the ace high. He's happy to get it, I can assure you.
Paul has gone out, but Kai Chang has a queen 9 of spades.
Yeah, Vince, I think you have to call Erik Seidel for this amount of money. Even if you lose the pot, you're going to have over $6 million in chips. So
you're correct. He's done it. He's given Erik the action.
Erik, about a $1.50 favorite the way the cards lie to win this pot.
Lucky me.
He must win it to stay alive. Otherwise, the Poker Hall of Famer will be our 4th place finisher. Everybody on their feet here at the Bay 101. Most of them would like to say goodbye to this Hall of Famer.
5 important cards coming up. And here are the first 3.
6-3-3. Erik still out in front with the ace high. 1 spade on the flop. Kai must catch a queen or a 9 or 2 running spades to win the pot.
Erik Seidel loves that flop. Here we go with 4th straight.
A deuce comes off, so we are down to the river. If Erik Seidel can dodge a queen or a 9, he'll double up and get back in this thing.
Oh, this could be an ugly beat for Seidel.
Here comes the suck-out card.
It's a 5. So there you go. The Hall of Famer lives on. Erik finally saying, thank you. Finally, I want a pot here. Certainly can't blame Kai for calling him over the queen 9 of spade. You have to do it with his chip count.
Nice hand, Erik.
Thank you.
And the crowd lets out a little bit of a moan, Vince. Everybody here would have liked to seen Erik hit the road, head back to Vegas in 4th place. Believe me, you don't want a Hall of Famer sticking around, getting a hold of some chips.
We know you have an important decision this year when it comes to where you play online poker in America. Oh wait, a lot of you can't. Well, we're proposing a new place to play poker in the USA, Club WPT Gold. That's right, online poker is back in America. 3 people who pre-register this week at clubwptgold.com will win a golden passport for a $5 million free roll tournament this December in Las Vegas. When you register, use promo code YouTube to be eligible to win a golden passport. Good luck and see you soon on Club WPT Gold.
Action on Paul Volpe. He has 10-9 offsuit. He's going to fold.
Over to Kai Chang. He's a businessman, but also a top-notch poker player. This is 5th WPT cash.
Well, he's raised to 175. Joe out, and look at this. Erik Seidel has pulled the trigger. He's gone all in.
Well, he's the short stack here, going to try to make it happen right now.
Mill.
Well, Kai Chang has one of those borderline hands, what to do, what not to do. Certainly you want to get rid of Erik Seidel. But on the other hand, you don't want to double him up here. Well, he throws out his bounty necklace.
Yes.
We know about those, Vince. We threw ours in the pot. Our opponents took them. We signed their shirts. Erik Seidel smiling. Looks confident, poised. And Kai is going to lay it down. Just doesn't want to take that kind of a medium, moderate weak hand and take a chance on doubling up Erik Seidel.
Am I supposed to call? I might double him up. I guess I should have called.
Yeah, that would have been a nice call. He'd have been out in front.
Well, there you see the prize money, what they're playing for. Over $1.1 million to the winner, plus getting your name engraved on the WPT Champions Cup, as well as an entry into the season-ending WPT World Championship. A lot on the line for all these guys.
Kai is going to quickly fold. Joe now not going to play as well. Erik.
Well, Erik, of course, trying to get his name on that cup for the 2nd time.
He's got Jack 10 this time. Will he try to steal this pot? Yes, he's going to put it in there. All in again.
With the Jack 10.
He's on a rampage, but behind him, Volpe looks down at an ace-4 diamonds.
All right. I call.
And he's going to make the call.
Well, nice call by Paul Volpe right here. He's out in front with the ace high.
Good luck, buddy.
Paul's got the ace-4.
Well, as you can see next to Erik's name is the stack indicator. And you see right now he's on the short stack and going to be out of here if he loses this pot.
Wow, Paul Volpe with a solid call here.
Thank you.
Paul finished 2nd in our last WPT event, the LA Poker Classic, trying to improve upon that number tonight. Would love nothing more right now than to get rid of the Hall of Famer, Erik Seidel.
Come on, Erik. Jack on the flop.
Erik, the Hall of Famer, hoping against hope. This won't be his last hand. Here we go.
Jack right in the door, but 2 diamonds on the flop. Erik Seidel has flopped 3 jacks, but he's up against a flush draw. Never easy.
Oh, boy. Dramatic flop right there.
He flopped 3 jacks, yet he's in trouble.
Here we go. Let's turn this. I can't look.
Paul looking for a diamond. That's not the 10 of diamonds. King of diamonds on the turn. Paul Volpe has made a flush. Erik Seidel must improve his hand to stay alive in this tournament. Needs to make a full house or 4 jacks to win this pot. Must have help. Needs a king, jack, 10, or a 7.
Oh, boy. Seidel now the dog.
It's an 8 of hearts.
Oh!
Wow. What about that, man? Hall of Famer hadn't caught anything all night. He finally flopped 3 jacks, and he loses to a flush.
Horrible. You're so excited for a moment. But look at him. He's always poised. He's a great, great champion. We love to see him at final tables.
And Vince, look what's happening now. Erik Seidel signing the T-shirt.
Yeah, this is one of those annoying moments when you just want to slink away after that abuse, but you got to sign your autograph on a lousy T-shirt.
Thanks a lot, Eric.
All right.
You played awesome.
How come I didn't get paid cash like that?
Yeah, that's weird.
Paul Volpe collecting another bounty.
Good news.
Nice round of applause for the Hall of Famer.
There's never been a bounty that ever took the Bay 101. Erik, a gracious loser at this point, gonna take home $295,000, and he's going over to talk to Matt Savage. Let's see what he has to say.
Well, you didn't achieve your goal of getting your name back on the Champions Cup, but tell us a little bit about your experience tonight.
Oh, it was fun. It was a great atmosphere. These guys were awesome over here.
All right.
You know, I wish I'd done a little better, but you can't win every time you play, so what do you do?
Give us your thought on Joe's play tonight. He's come out pretty much firing into the pot every time.
Joe is a monster, you know. I think the home court advantage is doing him well.
You're a great champion. Kimberly, back to you.
Right now, the local Joe Nguyen, the telephone repairman, has the most chips, 10.3, and action's on him.
What a story this is. Guy got in this tournament on a $500 satellite.
He's raised with ace-6 of diamonds. Got up to 175 to go. Paul out. And now Chang with a king-jack offsuit is making the call. Here we go with the flop.
Well, flop is queen, queen, 8, 2 clubs. No help to either player.
Kai's going to check. And Joe, the telephone man, going to check as well behind him.
And now the 4 clubs comes off.
Wow, 3 clubs out there.
And notice Kai looked down at his hand. And that's a tell that a guy's looking to see if he had a club in his hand. And he does. But it doesn't stop Joe Nguyen from betting.
Yep, 225,000 with just ace high. Kai has seen that he does have a pretty good club up there, and he's going to make this call. We'll go into the river. And the river is a4, pairs the board again.
So Joe out in front, 2 pair with ace kicker against 2 pair with king kicker.
Kai is checking again. Joe's going to bet.
Yeah, Joe going to bet 325,000 here.
And he'd like to get paid off with the guy with just king high. Wow, but Kai has different thoughts. He's going to raise this.
Wow. He spent it up to 825,000. Now, do you want to just call with 2 pair in the ace kicker here? Do you really think the guy's got a full house? Wow, he is re-raising. I don't understand this.
Pretty aggressive.
A testosterone contest.
Amazing. Joe is going to re-raise. Says, I don't think you have much. And now Kai with just the king high. What is he going to do? Oh, man. No, say it ain't so.
2.3 million he's betting here.
Over the top, he's just saying, I think you have nothing. Here you go.
Wow.
Just incredible poker we're watching here.
I mean, it's just very difficult to call here without a queen in your hand.
It's impossible.
I mean, Joe virtually shut himself out of this spot when he raised last time. He should have just called when the guy bet 800,000 with the ace high.
Perfect read by Chang, and he's going to show it. And it doesn't get any better than this.
What a play by Chang right there.
Amazing.
That is playing some poker.
Well, that's the play of the week.
Wow.
No doubt about it. He has just bluffed the steam right out of this room. Chang with the super bluff right there.
It's pretty gross. Thanks, dude.
Well, Jason loves playing poker as much as anybody I know, and certainly he's well liked out here on the tour.
He certainly is. He plays a whole bunch of tournaments. We've seen him in the World Poker Tour final table before. I'm sure he'll be a champion before long. Now let's get back to this one. Joe Nguyen now first to act.
Well, he's still stunned about that last pot. Probably stunned the way he played it instead of just calling the guy where he'd won the pot.
Right.
He raised him and got re-raised out of the pot.
Yeah, these guys are playing the player and not the cards necessarily. And this time Joe has raised with ace deuce. Paul out. And Chang, who has to be feeling pretty good after that amazing play, has a 10-7 and will make this call.
Vince's reads have been spot on all day long. Timing is perfect. Kai Chang really playing well.
Look at this flop. Jack, 7, deuce. Chang with the 7s has outflopped Joe, who picks up a piece of that, a pair of deuces. Kai's going to check.
And Joe's going to bet bottom pair here.
And 170 to go.
And Kai is going to find out where he's at here. He's getting out raising chips. 400,000. I like this play. Find out where you're at right here, right now. If the guy comes back over the top of you here, just give up middle pair and move on to the next hand. But at least you're not guessing all the way the rest of the hand if he's got it or not.
Joe's called this.
Now a diamond comes off. That'll scare both players because neither have a diamond in their hand.
You would think, but Kai grabs a handful of those yellows. Oh, he's going to stack them out there.
800,000 he's betting. And now if you're sitting in Joe's seat, you thought your deuces were good because your opponent had a flush draw. Well, he's made the flush, so virtually there's nothing you can beat here with the stone cold bluff. But you just saw him do that the last hand to run you out of the pot. But Joe wisely gives it up here. Kai takes down yet another pot. So Kai Chang on a nice little heater right now.
Action is on Kai.
And he looks down at the ace-8 of hearts. Certainly going to raise with that on the button.
Yeah, makes it 225 to go. Behind him, Joe with a king-10 of diamonds, making the call. Volpe going out.
Well, the same two chip leaders going at it yet again. Flop is Jack, Jack, Jack.
Pretty amazing.
Well, Joe is checked.
3 of a kind on the flop again tonight. We saw 3 queens earlier. Neither player has a piece of that, of course.
That was heavy.
Kai has bet 425,000.
Continuation bet.
Joe is not a believer. He makes the call with the king high. Kai looks a little concerned over that. Now a 3 comes off.
Kai will slow down. He checks it.
Well, it goes check, check here. So we're going to the river. Now a jack comes off. Now Kai has the best hand possible. Quads with an ace kicker. But for some reason, Joe is leading out and betting 100,000 here.
Just one of those $100,000 bets we saw before tonight.
But I don't know why you would bet this. Why not just check and let your opponent bluff at the pot if he's got nothing? If he's got ace high, you can't beat him.
And look at this. Kai has raised it.
I call.
Well, he raised it $500,000, just enough so the guy might call him with king high. And that's exactly the case.
Yeah, Joe makes a bad call there.
Kai Chang taking down that pot. Right now he is marching like the Ohio State marching band with great precision.
Kai Chang getting all the best of it right now. He's got close to 11 million. Things are going his way. He's a businessman from Albany, California. That's pretty close to this area.
And he's quite the poker player, though. This is 5th WPT cash. He actually bubbled in 7th place in the LA Poker Classic a few years back. He's still haunted about that.
All in. 1.5.
Getting back to this hand, Paul Volpe has gone all in with a queen, 10 of hearts.
I call.
He's going to be called by Kai Chang. Kai's got a beat right now with an ace on the clubs.
Well, everybody on their feet. Paul Volpe wants to improve on last week's 2nd place finish. He's going to have to get lucky and win this pot. Otherwise, he'll be our 3rd place finisher tonight. Still pretty good stuff. 2nd and 3rd in back-to-back weeks on the WPT, but right now, Paul not looking for 3rd, hoping to get lucky here.
And the flop comes up king, king, 7, so no luck there for Paul Volpe. The online professional came in as the chip leader, and now he's struggling. Here's the turn, 6 of diamonds. Volpe in a heap of trouble at this point.
Yep, must catch a queen or a 10 to stay alive in this tournament. Otherwise, Kai Chang, the man who's competed in Ironman competitions, will add another trophy here, perhaps. It's a 3. Wow, Paul Volpe out in 3rd place. That's astonishing that the 2 guys that started in 5th and 6th place are now playing for this title. These are the last 2 guys you would have figured would have played heads up for this title. But that's poker for you. And it just shows you anybody can do it on a given day.
Oh, Paul Volpe
considered one of the best online players in the world. Back-to-back tournaments at the World Poker Tour final tables. Pretty impressive. Gonna take home $435,000, and he's over to talk to Matt Savage.
You took over the Player of the Year race, over $400,000, and Erik Seidel's bounty. But why do I get the feeling this is not enough for you?
Came in, I had 2 shots back-to-back weeks, coming in as chip leader, and couldn't finish. I'm actually not super upset, but I mean, I kind of am. You know, it's bittersweet again, so.
Well, a couple local players here. I mean, did the crowd get to you at all?
Nah, not really. Brought excitement. Doesn't bother me much.
All right, well, Paul, see if you can continue your run on Player of the Year.
Gonna keep trying. All right, thanks.
We know you have an important decision this year when it comes to where you play online poker in America. Oh, wait, a lot of you can't. Well, we're proposing a new place to play poker in the USA, Club WPT Gold. That's right, online poker is back in America. 3 people who pre-register this week at clubwptgold.com will win a golden passport for a $5 million free roll tournament this December in Las Vegas. When you register, use promo code YouTube to be eligible to win a golden passport. Good luck and see you soon on Club WPT Gold.
Pretty incredible. You think about all the great names, the bounties, they're out. It's these 2 right now. Chang with a pair of 3s.
Sorry about that.
And he is going to move it up to $275,000 to go. Joe's going to call, slop around with a 6 deuce of clubs.
Well, as we've said all night long, these guys have come to play, no doubt about it. On has come Jack 7-5 with 2 clubs. Joe swapped a flush draw. Action's on him, he checks. Kai with the 2 3s is going to make the continuation bet. $325,000.
Now will Joe get aggressive with it? No, he's saying, I just call.
I would have raised with the flush draw there had it been me. But Joe opted to call, and here comes the club. After not raising with the flush draw, he's going to lead out and bet in this situation. Now he's hoping his opponent's got something like ace-jack and may give him a call here, but that's not the case. Kai gets rid of the 2 3s. So Joe Nguyen taking down that pot. Joe's hobbies are playing poker and drag racing.
Yep, he's 35 years old, lives in Sunnyvale, California, right around here. There's the Royal Flush Girls Social Bar. You can sit there and talk to the girls. They're at every WPT event, along with Kimberly Lansing, Mike Sexton, and myself. All right, onto this hand. It's on Joe. Got in this tournament through a satellite. Small investment of $500, and now he's going after gigantic money here tonight. He's got a 9-8, and he's just going to call. And Chang with a awful 310 is going to raise. $300,000 to go. Quick call, though, by Joe.
Well, Kai's not raising because of the strength of his hand. He's raising because he thinks his opponent is weak, and he's right about that. Well, it's come Queen 9-7 with 2 spades. Kai going to make the continuation bet, as you can see. Joe, of course, has made 2 9s and probably is not going anywhere.
Yeah, 450 is bet, and Joe, a quick call by him.
Well, every time he acts quickly like that, he's got some kind of hand. I'm sure Kai realizes it. A deuce comes off. Well, Kai does realize that because he checks.
700.
He's not going to jeopardize any more chips. 700,000 the bet by Joe. Kai cannot call. He can fold or raise, and he opts to fold. So Joe Nguyen taking down yet another pot. 1 step closer to fulfilling his dream, and what a dream it is, winning a WPT title.
He's just going to call it, but Joe sees a spot. He's going to raise with Jack 10 of spades. Makes it $300,000 to go. Kai's going to call it.
Well, Kai says one of his favorite players is WPT champ Nam Lee. He looks a little bit like him, and his demeanor is exactly like him. Calm, cool, and collected.
Well, flop comes up 9-9-5. They both check. Deuce of hearts on the turn.
Well, Joe's going to bet 300,000. Incredibly, Kai calls. Now, he's not calling because he thinks he has the best hand. He's calling to set up a play on the river where he can bet and win this pot. Deuce of clubs comes off, so 3 clubs out there and 2 pair out there.
700,000.
Not going to help Joe, but he doesn't care. He says 700,000.
This would probably be be the best place to win a title. Just to have the fans, the family, the crowd here at home, it'll mean everything. I'm gonna just put in my best effort, my best game, and see if we can do it.
We've seen Kai bluff him out before by making moves on the river. Doesn't do it this time, gives it up. That's Joe Nguyen trying to do something here tonight that only 4 players in WPT history have done. Come from 6th place, last place at the final table to win the title. Can he do it?
All right, let's go to the play. Joe Nguyen with a queen 8, just gonna call. Kai Chang with an ace 4, gonna move it up to 300,000 to go. And Joe with the quick call.
Okay, so here comes the flop. It's 10-6-3 with 2 spades. No help to either player.
Kai first to act, gonna stick out a bet of 400,000.
Joe making the call here. No hand, no draw. Except backdoor draws. It's what we call a float bet. Meaning he's calling to take the pot away from his opponent later on to see if it can happen.
6 of diamonds hits. Kai's gonna check.
Well, and here it comes. Joe doing exactly that. Betting to take the pot away from his opponent after making the float call on the flop, but not working here against this guy.
Whoa, 600,000 has been called.
What a read. 9 of clubs comes off.
No one hits a pair.
So again, neither player has anything.
Kai's gonna check again.
700,000.
Gee, Joe is stubborn. He's gonna stick out another bluff bet.
I don't think we've ever had anybody bet as fast as this guy does on the World Poker Tour. I mean, you couldn't even start a shot clock before he's got his money out there. Forget about using one. Love it.
No, I'm impressed with it too, how fast he plays.
Well, I'm impressed Kai's going possibly with his instincts here.
We got it.
Wow, he made this call. That is really impressive stuff.
Oh, it's beautiful. Beautiful call.
Folks, you can certainly see that this guy would deserve to be a WPT champion if he wins this event. No doubt about it. Kai Chang making a great call right there. On the World Poker Tour, just a short while back, he didn't make it this time, but those guys are here sweating the action at the Bay 101.
Back to this action, Kai Chang now with a king, 4 of spades. Low raise, 225 to go. Joe with a 9-7.
Oh, he is making the call.
They don't fold hands. They fight for every pot. And here we go.
And the flop comes Queen, Jack, 10, 2 hearts. Both players have an open-end straight draw.
Yeah, no pairing, but possibilities here. And the marathon man, Kai Chang's gonna bet. Continuation bet, 300,000. Joe's called it. What drama we are seeing? Who will get lucky here?
Well, the 7 of hearts comes off. So as the cards lie, that's a great card for Joe. He's got a flush draw and the best hand with 2 7s.
Yeah, he caught a pair. They both check. Down to the river we go.
Just check, check. And now the deuce of hearts comes off. 4 hearts on the board. Joe has the flush with the 9 of hearts. Well, Joe has checked. I love this check by Joe. Give your opponent a chance to bluff at this spot.
Yeah, Kai is betting.
Go.
And the snap call by Joe, and he's going to win this pot.
Good call.
With the flush, and his fans are loving it. The wife here, the brothers are here. He's got 3 brothers in the house rooting him on. John, Man, and Lang. A lot of friends are here.
We're playing some garbage hand. Let's do it. There we go.
So nicely done by Joe, the local. Kai Chang still the chip leader with close to 12 million. Joe's coming back. Blinds are 50 and 100. Action on Joe.
And he's got the 10 deuce of diamonds. It's a Doyle Brunson hand, the 10 deuce suited. Doyle won back-to-back world championships in 1976 and 77 with the 10 deuce in his hand. Doyle's still the oldest player to ever win an event out here in the World Poker Tour.
And Joe has raised this. It's a 250. He's been called, and here's the flop, 10-7-5. That gives Joe a pair of 10s, and it gives Kai an open-ended straight draw.
He's going to check, and again, the snap bet by Joe Nguyen. I mean, it's the fastest better we've ever had in the history of the tour. Make no mistake about it, folks.
It's like he's playing for 5 cents and 10 cents. That's what it's like.
No time to think.
It's just like he doesn't care about the chips. What is the
He's
values
got
are.
top pair. Certainly can't blame him for betting here. Can't blame Kai for calling with the open-end straight draw either. That's what he's done.
So we're going to the turn. This could get dramatic.
Well, the 9 of diamonds comes off.
Man.
This gives Kai a straight, but notice that Joe has top pair and a flush draw. Folks, we could see more fireworks here than on the 4th of July.
Kai's going to try to trap here. He's checked it. And Joe's going to swing away. 530.
Can't blame Joe for betting this hand, but obviously, at least I think obviously, Kai is going to raise it.
Well, you don't want your player to outdraw you. That's why you put in a strong raise, and that's, well, yep, he's getting the big chips out to make a strong raise, protect his hand. Oh, boy, he goes to about 2.5 million.
Yeah, it's like the telephone man's wire just got spliced there, Vince.
And now Joe has got a problem.
Well, he's got about 7 million in chips, but it cost him 2 million to call this bet alone.
I'm all in.
I call. And he's going to go all in, and he's going to get the quick call by Kai.
Well, this is it right here. Joe must catch a diamond to win this pot to stay alive in this tournament. Otherwise, Kai Chang will become a WPT champion. Everybody on their feet here at the Bay 101, holding their breath, waiting for the river card.
It is coming down to the river. One more card. Can Kai do it?
Will Joe Nguyen hit his diamond? Here it is.
Well, it's a 6. Kai Chang is going to be our champion.
It is over.
Congratulations, bro.
No flush for Joe. Kai Chang has done it.
Well, Vince, the two guys that started in 5th, 6th chip position battled their way heads up for this title. Kai Chang coming out on top, and I must say, he deserves this title.
Joe Nguyen, the telephone man, is the runner-up.
And right now, Joe is over to talk to Matt Savage.
Joe, you came in tonight as a short stack, but you turned it into over $660,000. How do you feel right now?
Feel real good, man. I'm on sky high right now. I wish I could have won the whole thing, but still a winner in my book. The pros better watch out and, recognize the name because I'll be back.
Congratulations, Joe. Mike, over to you and the winner.
Thank you.
You get a $25,000 entry, the WPT World Championship, and more importantly, you're going to get your name engraved on the WPT Champions Cup with all the great champions.
Thank you very much.
Kimberly, back to you.
We know you have an important decision this year when it comes to where you play online poker in America. Oh wait, a lot of you can't. Well, we're proposing a new place to play poker in the USA, Club WPT Gold. That's right, online poker is back in America. 3 people who pre-register this week at clubwptgold.com will win a golden passport for a $5 million free roll tournament this December in Las Vegas. When you register, use promo code YouTube to be eligible to win a golden passport. Good luck and see you soon on Club WPT Gold.
In Venice, Italy, the oldest casino in the world plays host to a truly historic event in more ways than one. The WPT Venice Grand Prix starts now, only on the World Poker Tour.
Well, look at this. Marcello with 1.8 million. I don't think he has the experience to get it done, but Sexton, it could be his night, Vince, with $1 million.
It could be. As we see the first place prize, 140,000 euros. That's about, I think, 180 US. So big stakes here. Mike Sexton first to act. Oh, look at this, his first hand. He's got pair of 5s, 55, the speed limit, as he likes to say.
Raise.
And he's gonna pop it with it. Makes it 40,000 to go.
A comment about the min raise. I think it's a very good mathematical move because if you can make that min raise and get everybody to fold, why risk more chips?
That's a good point. Now, Xia Lin had King Queen, but he's also gonna release it. Maybe there's some fear here of Mike Sexton. And look who's going to win. Hand number 1, Mr. WPT himself, Mike Sexton.
Yo, Vinny.
Hello, partner. The crowd is loving this. Mike Sexton, the Hall of Famer, my buddy. Take it down, hand number 1. Nice.
It's easy to underestimate Mike Sexton, and I've done it in the past myself, and he's beat me some big pots because he is fearless. And so if they underestimate, and they all have respect after playing with him for a day or two, they all respect him now more than they did before.
Well, we will see. Back to the action, a couple folds. And now it's around to Mike. He won't play this one. Lines are 10 and 20, and now Erion Islamay. He's got the button. He's got Queen 7.
What's that last name?
Islamay.
Well done, well done.
Yeah, he's the Mike Sexton of TV here in Italy. He's going to raise with his Queen 7. Makes it 40,000. Marcello out. Now Roby Begni, 43 years old.
Calling here is just fine. You know, a raise is a little bit more aggressive, gives you a chance to win the 40 that he put out, plus all the blinds and antes.
Raise.
Well, look at this. He's going to raise it. He started playing poker at age 16, Robbie did, taught by his father. Now back on Erion. He won't play.
And he put 100,000 of his 1.2 million to work there to pick up 50, 60,000 risk-free. Well done.
The former engineer used to work with computers. Roby Begni taking down this hand. They're the Royal Flush girls enjoying this week in Italy with us. We've been eating well, having a fantastic time, but the best time has to go to Mike. Look at this, his opportunity to put his name on the WPT Champions Cup, have it engraved with all the champs here tonight. All right, right back on Roby Begni. He looks down to a pretty attractive ace-9 of clubs, Phil.
How do you pronounce that last name?
Begni.
Nicely done, nicely done.
Raise. He's going to raise with his ace-9 of clubs.
He makes it exactly 40. That was what we call a min raise.
And now Xia Lin won't play that. He was originally born in China. Now, look at this. Rocco Palumbo on the short stack with ace-queen.
Yeah, he has one move. It's all in. The math dictates that, and he knows the math, so.
I'm all in.
That's it. You heard it from Helmuth. Says he's going all in, and that's what he does. Sexton out. Erion Islamay. The Italian Mike Sexton, but thinner, as he says, goes out as well. Marcello with a 4-3, thinking about this, not really. Goes out, and now it's back on Robbie. He's got ace-9 of clubs. He can afford this.
No, he can't afford it. It's 372,000 more. I mean, it's like a third of his chips with ace-9 when he knows ace-9 is the worst hand.
He's thinking about it.
I'm surprised he's thinking this long.
Well, these guys are dramatic. They're Italians, you know? And they like to take their time and finally does the right thing.
The Italian men do seem to be very dramatic, don't they?
Don't they? They like to take their time. There's a lot of passion in their games. 0.8 to the felt we go. Actions on the young pro Xia Lin, born in China, now lives in Ferrara, Italy. He's going to fold that hand. Now it's on Rocco Palumbo. He has a pair of fours, but quickly lays it down.
I don't mind that play at all. So.
All right, Sexton also out. Now it's around to Erion Islamay. Got a pretty nice ace-6 offsuit. He's going all in.
Well, he has 316,000, so the shove just seems reasonable here. I mean, on the button especially.
Absolutely, but look at this. Marcello right behind him with a legitimate pair of 10s. Wow. He's the chip leader. He could bust this man out of here.
Okay, Marcello, what's taking so long?
Yeah, really, what is taking so long?
Yeah, it's a snap call.
Now he's not a professional player, Marcello. He actually works in a hardware store. He's an employee. He loves poker. He's been playing 4 years. And right now, taking so much time, he's beginning to look like a hardware store man.
But a hardware store man with a dream.
With a dream, that's right. There you go. Makes the call. Robbie now.
I fold.
Folds his 4-3. So they are going to turn up the cards. And Erion Islamay in a bit of trouble. A6 versus a pair of 10s. They shake each other's hands. What a moment here. Erion Islamay from Italy, 27 years old. Hobby includes sports and astronomy. Here we go. Oh, a 10.
Wow, a 10 on the flop.
Three of a kind on the flop from Marcello.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
I mean, basically needs a 7-9 jack to even be drawing live.
A flop there for Marcello.
Yes, yes. It would only seem fair that some kind of straight draw would come on the turn.
Here we go with the turn. Oh, boy.
It's a 7, and here we go. 4 of 9s will get the job done for the ace-6 to make a straight.
All the 4s are out, so he needs a 9.
Marcello says, go ahead, have an ace. You can make an ace.
Arian can't look. Is he going to hit his 9? Here's the river. He's Coming down to this card. Not going to work out. A 6 on the river. So Erion Islamay out in 6th place. The WPT World Poker Tour commentator for Italy.
Sitting next to Mike Sexton. Does Mike Sexton's roll. He also gets to see a lot of hole cards.
That's right. He pushed him out into the canal. It is over for him. Picking up 24,000 euros. Let's see what he has to say.
My action is first, so I have to push. In this kind of situation, I have to take those blind, so don't worry. No problem.
Aran was forced to make that move. I mean, an ace on the button, so he just shoved all in. That's fine. I think it could move kind of quickly from here. Still 2 short stacks that are very young, aggressive, and believe in the math of poker. They are going to get their chips in, and they're going to get them soon.
Yeah, very exciting. Mike Sexton, 1 spot closer to becoming a WPT champion. Let's see if he can do it. Back down to the felt.
The action is on Robbie here with the 6-8 of hearts. Don't let the internet kids see that you folded that hand. They don't fold the 6-8 suited 5-handed.
Exia also out, and now Rocco Palumbo with a king 6 with the buttons going to raise, makes it 40,000. Mike with a nothing hand folds. And here's Marcello. He is the major chip leader at this point. He is in the big blind. He's got just a 10-7. Let's see what he does with it. He's going to call it.
It's not the worst play, only 20,000 more.
He's going to speculate. And here comes the flop. It's Jack 9-5.
Great flop from Marcello. He flopped a straight draw here. He has to do something. He has to bet or check raise or check call.
45.
And Rocco not
now
getting anything. Bets 45,000.
So now what's he going to do? He's going to call probably, but raise would be really skilled.
Rocco's got just king high, and Marcello.
He's asking for a chip count. Is he thinking about just moving in?
Well, Rocco's on a relative short stack as well, so this would be a great time to just push Rocco right out of there.
I mean, he has 2.1 million. Rocco started the hand with only 458,000.
Oh, no.
What?
He's going to fold it.
That was redonkulous.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
That was a horrible fold. Oh, my goodness. That.
But don't forget, Phil, the guy, you know, he's not a professional player. He works in a hardware store. He's an employee at a hardware store. He loves poker. He has a dream of getting his name inscribed on the WPT Champions Cup with all the great champions of the WPT. And that's just not the way to get there, is it, Phil?
If he keeps playing like that, he'll be right back in the hardware store where we've all been, by the way.
I know it. All right. Back to this hand. Exia out. Rocco picking up the weapons of mass destruction. Look at this. Just like that pair of aces. Makes it 40,000 to go. Sexton out. And Marcello now with a 10-8. He's going to call with it. Right behind him, Robbie, 43-year-old, who also lives in Italy. He's got a queen 10 of clubs.
Not a bad place to make a squeeze, because if he gets away with it, he wins both 40K bets and the antes in the middle.
But he's not going to squeeze. He's just calling with his queen 10. Lucky for him, Rocco's sitting on 2 out of bombs there. Pair of aces. What a time to get them.
American Airlines, yeah, great time.
And we are flopping. And look at this, a queen 7-4. That gives Robbie top pair of queens. Uh-oh.
And Rocco, to start this hand, had 575,000, so...
But hold the press. Look at this. Marcello, who got nothing of that, is going to bet. He's going to lead out.
Marcello bets the air ball for 126,000.
Mamma mia.
Now, Robbie has a decision to make here. I mean, he's most likely going to raise this, but then...
Top pair.
Raise.
Yeah, he's going to push it. He's going to be in a lot of trouble.
He raised pretty quickly here. I mean, basically, he's in a lot of trouble here because behind him is aces.
Yep.
He's putting in
252. This could be a huge hand.
Now Rocco moves in.
Well, I can't believe this. Rocco has folded the hand.
Okay, this just doesn't make any sense. It's a queen. Well, what is
the guy flopped 2 pair of set or something? But it's a very, very tight fold. Horrible fold.
Okay.
And Marcello, of course, has to go out. It's pretty shocking, Phil.
That was a stunningly bad fold there.
Well, it is, but especially Rocco he doesn't have any chips. He's on the short stack. That's a terrible play, but we'll watch it here so far.
We know you have an important decision this year when it comes to where you play online poker in America. Oh, wait, a lot of you can't. Well, we're proposing a new place to play poker in the USA. Club WPT Gold. That's right, online poker is back in America. 3 people who pre-register this week at clubwptgold.com will win a golden passport for a $5 million free roll tournament this December in Las Vegas. When you register, use promo code YouTube to be eligible to win a golden passport. Good luck and see you soon on Club WPT Gold.
And now Rocco Palumbo. He's going to make it 40,000 with Queen 10. Mike Sexton, get ready, sir. When are you going to open up your game? He's still got chips, though. Over $1 million. He'll play this, Phil.
I like that, Mike. I mean, basically what he's picked up on is Rocco's been doing a lot of opening. He's been opening a lot of pots. And Mike is like, okay, he can't always have it, and I don't think he has it this time, and this is the time I'm going to make the move.
He's made it to 100,000. Back to Rocco.
And Rocco's forced to fold because Mike has been playing very patiently for the last couple days.
5-handed poker, this is pretty good.
It really is. I mean, watching Mike with a shot to win his, I mean, I think that, you know, pretty much almost everybody in the crowd's rooting for him who's watching this. And, yeah, I mean, he's put his dues in poker. He's been around for a long time. He's done a lot of great stuff for our game, and I think a win by him would be universally celebrated.
Well, he is on his way, playing shrewd poker. This time he picks up ace-jack, and he will make the min raise, makes it 40,000. Marcello, the chip leader. Hardware store employee goes out, and now it's on Robbie. Robbie's got a king-queen.
Now, remember Mike raised earlier in the show with 2 5s, and Xia folded the king-queen. Let's see how Robbie responds.
I called. He's going to call, likes the action. Exia out. And Rocco with a nothing hand. Not going to play, so we have two-way action. Mike Sexton with a big opportunity here. Ace-jack up against king-queen.
Now, Mike's going to c-bet almost every flop.
Look at this flop for Mike.
Except that flop.
Mike Sexton flops the nuts. Jack, ace.
If he's going to bet...
he's going to bet it.
40,000. I like the min bet because that's going to keep your opponent involved with a lot of garbage hands.
Exactly
and
what he bet.
People expect you to c-bet anyway, so pretty aggressive c-bet.
Well, Robbie's got the inside straight, that's all, and he's going to call. Mike is jumping up and down.
Mike is
going off in his head.
Robbie's rooting for a 10, and Mike's rooting for him to catch a 10.
That's right. But not a 10, it's a 6 of diamonds.
Now Mike has to check. Yeah, he has to check it. I mean, you just...
Try to trap.
Right, sure. Give Robbie a chance to bet the queen 10 or whatever, in this case a king queen.
Very shrewd. Robbie does not bet. River card. Oh, that's not going to help Sexton anymore. Another ace.
That's an action killer for Mike. I mean, in this case, actually, it could induce a call because with aces and jacks on board, Mike could potentially have 2 10s and Robbie could call him, but...
Sexton is going to bet, and he bets a lot. 225.
He bet too much. I mean, he bet over the size of the pot here. I mean, you know, I don't like the bet. There's only 205,000 in there. He bet too much.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there.
I'm not sure that Robbie would call that much. He might call 50 or 100,000, but yeah, I think 100 is a good number.
Robbie's going to lay down the hand, and Mike, you know, it's one of those things where you win the pot, but you're still aggravated. You didn't get enough out of it. Look,
I raised with ace-jack, I flopped a full house, I won the pot, but I'm kind of pissed off.
Mike can't get the action he wants. Just not quite connecting yet, but he is pacing himself wisely. All right, he's the first to act with this one. And he's got a nothing hand, decides not to bluff. Marcello out. And Roby Begni with a pair of 6s. Robbie, the former engineer, born in Switzerland, lives in Italy, poker pro, 43 years old. He will raise with this. Makes it 55,000. Exia, discouraged, he folds. And look at Rocco, has picked up an attractive king 10 of spades.
I'm all on.
And he is going to go all in. He's on a short stack, and he is pushing here.
Wow, this is a tough call for the 2 6s for Robbie here. I mean, I just don't blame him for folding there. If he calls and he's wrong, he's going to be down to 850,000. A lot of times with 6s, what are you hoping for? That your opponent has king, 10 of spades? Oh, that's what he has. Congratulations. You're only a tiny favorite to win now.
Right, right. So why get heavily invested when you're not already invested? The hardware store employee Marcello Montagner is the chip leader. 5-handed poker, Xia Lin. Let's see if he plays any hands tonight. No, not yet. Gonna lay this one down. Can you believe this, Phil? Rocco's picked up the weapons of mass destruction again.
Again. Let's see if he can play him right this time.
You're right. Makes it 48,000. Sexton out. Man, Marcello, the chip leader's gonna pass. And now, let's see if Robbie gets tangled up in this. He's got an ace-queen.
Wow. So look at really unlucky for Robbie, because this is just a snap auto re-raise.
Little does he know what he's up against.
Raise?
Be careful. No. He's going
Nothing
for
he
it.
can do. Rocco has 500,000 to start the hand.
Robbie makes it 103. Now look at the little acting going on here by Rocco. A little shake of the head, the grimace.
Yeah.
All in.
And then he goes all in.
All in. Okay, so actually Robbie could get away from this hand.
Call.
Oh, boy.
He couldn't get away from it. He's made what I think is a bad call.
Rocco Palumbo, who came in as one of the short stack with a big opportunity right now to double up here and take a dent out of Robbie's chip stack.
Crazy. I mean, it was queen 10 of clubs. He flopped top pair. He was supposed to double him up that hand.
And here is the flop. It's, wow, look at this. 3 spades out there. Robbie has a spade.
But Rocco has a higher spade.
That is correct. They're huddled together. Just a great flop there for Rocco Palumbo.
What do you think they're saying? They're saying, life is good. Yes.
That's right.
Yep. I'm going to win this pot.
Pizza tonight.
Yeah.
Okay, turn 7 of hearts. Not going to change anything. Jack on the river.
Everybody's smiling in his camp. Life is good.
Big hand for Rocco Palumbo. He is coming back in this thing.
We know you have an important decision this year when it comes to where you play online poker in America. Oh wait, a lot of you can't. Well, we're proposing a new place to play poker in the USA, Club WPT Gold. That's right, online poker is back in America. 3 people who pre-register this week at clubwptgold.com will win a golden passport for a $5 million free roll tournament this December in Las Vegas. When you register, use promo code YouTube to be eligible to win a golden passport. Good luck and see you soon on Club WPT Gold.
Five-handed poker, Rocco Palumbo, an Italian. He just doubled up before, folds the hand, and now the great Mike Sexton with ace-4 of hearts. Is this going to be the time?
Raise. 48.
48,000, just a min raise. Nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely. And now the chip leader, Marcello, picking up a pair of 8s. Pretty solid.
This is where I'd like to see a re-raise of some sort, Vince, because the re-raise gives you a great chance just to win the pot right then and right there. You could show the hand afterwards. I'm not bluffing, you know, but I like the re-raise here because if you let Mike have control of the hand and it comes king-queen, Mike's going to just bet and you're going to fold the 8. So take the pot right now.
Well, that's what he's trying to do. He makes it 100,000 to go. Roby Begni going to lay it down. Exia,
I waited for you to come back.
not surprisingly, folds. And Mike Sexton will release the hand. And that's exactly what he did, Phil.
Yep.
Shows the hand, shrugs, and says, hey, I'm top dog out here right now. Action on the great Mike Sexton. He's got queen, jack, and a lot of experience. Going to fold that.
That's fine. I mean, you know, the other option is to min raise queen jack there, but I think I slightly prefer fold there.
Well, Marcello here with a king 10. He's starting to open up his game, and he makes it 48,000 to go.
The old min raise, 48,000 to go.
Robbie and Exia fold their hands, and now it's around to Rocco Palumbo. Doubled up nicely early on. He's picking up big cards. This time he has ace-8, and he will call this.
The other play would be re-raise, but he doesn't want to get too aggressive with a hand like that.
The flop comes up 3-5-5, help to neither player. And Rocco will check it. And I like this, Marcello doing the right thing. Continuation bet with his king high. It looks like 54,000.
I like the C-bet. I like the C-bet a lot.
Rocco, though.
Well, Rocco's made a nice call here because what he's thinking is on the 3-5-5 flop is that I'm not calling to hit an ace or an 8. I'm calling because I think ace-8 is the best hand, and I think that my opponent will not bet on the turn.
6 of clubs helps neither player. Rocco is going to check again.
Now, if Marcello could have mustered a bet there, he would have won the pot.
Look at this, 8 on the river. Beautiful for Rocco. Picks up 8s, top pair out there.
Gin.
With the 5s, yeah, that's right.
Gin. His best possible card, really. An ace wouldn't even be great for him because Marcello could have like an ace-jack or something, but 8 is just like so safe.
Beautiful.
So nice.
86,000. By the way, Rocco has a World Series bracelet from a no-limit hold'em game back in 2012, so he's got some good experience, a nice title win there.
Oh yeah, when you pick up a bracelet, $1,000 buy-in, how many people were in that field?
What do you know about
goodness.
bracelets, Phil?
I know that there
How
are
many
probably
you got now?
there are probably 3,000 people in that field, is what I know.
Yeah. What are you up to? 14?
13 bracelets.
Good for you.
Thank you for asking.
Hey, this would be a pretty bad call here. He's got king high.
Okay.
And he does the right thing. Lays it down.
Seems like it took him a long time to make a routine fold.
It certainly does. But Rocco Palumbo now coming back. Former accountant. He's married. He has a 4-year-old son. And there are the Royal Flush Girls. Just enjoying the week here in Venezia.
And Rocco moves to second place in chips, by the way.
Wow, yeah.
The player with the most experience.
Except for Sexton, of course.
Yeah.
Hall of Famer Mike Sexton in major contention. Just not picking up the hands tonight so far.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, he's playing a good, solid strategy.
All right, we have a couple folds around to Rocco again. And look at this. Rocco has a pair of queens. He's got the ladies. Makes it 48. Mike out.
Come on. We watched the last show. Rocco misplay a pair of aces.
Yeah.
Then he picked up the aces again and doubled up against an ace-queen.
Yep.
And now he picks up queens. He seems to be holding all the hands.
He has, and this time he's getting action with his queens. Marcello has called with ace-7.
Non che mi tanga, ma c'è tipo 2 milioni. Tipo.
So let's see who will get lucky, and it's an ace just like that on the flop. Beautiful for Marcello. Out-flopping Palumbo.
Now I'm going to tell you that I'll take the opposite tack now and say it's kind of unlucky when you pick up queens and it comes ace-9 deuce, especially against a blind hand.
Marcello checks and Rocco bets, and Marcello's going to make the okie-dokie call.
Because Marcello's defended so many times, he could easily have 10-9 here, or...
Oh, boy, 7 of hearts on the turn, makes it aces and 7s for Marcello. He's checking again.
What a card.
He's trying to trap again, make Rocco bet. And Rocco, like a zombie, is going to do exactly what he wants. He's betting it. 85,000.
I don't hate that bet. Go ahead and bet it and find out where you're at. I mean, that's the last chips you're going to put in this hand. So you bet 85. If he has the, if he can raise you here, then you fold, and that's the end of the hand.
Marcello is going to raise, yep. He's doing the right thing. Make him pay off if you want to outdraw him potentially. Makes it 200,000 to go.
No, I think Rocco can get away here, and we're on to the next hand.
Throw up the white flag, perhaps. Make a nice lay down.
And when an amateur check raises you on 4th Street, there's enough information for you to let go of this hand.
Look at Marcello looking confident, and he should be, but usually a player looking confident is weak, generally speaking.
200, pieni.
Look at this. He looks like he's getting chips in. Yes, he is.
Whoops.
He's going to pay him off. This is kind of startling. Need to hit a queen on the river.
I'd say it's a pretty bad call.
It looks like it. This is great for Marcello, and a king on the river.
Okay, Marcello, you get maybe a free 150,000, maybe 250. A lot of people would bet 250 here.
He might value bet it, but he's not. Check, check.
What?
Oh,
he
boy.
checked aces and said, well, he was worried about ace-king. Why would you be worried about ace-king? Rocco raised on the button. He could have had anything. He could have had ace-8, ace-10, ace-jack. He could have had king-queen of clubs and hit a king. He may well have called 150, 200,000 there. That was a really bad check.
Mike is in second chip position at this point. Now, look at this, going to the floor here. Xia Lin going all in with an ace-3, finally playing a hand.
2 shows I've been waiting for him to make a move. He's finally all in.
Right behind him, Rocco with a pair of sixes, gonna lay it down.
I don't mind that lay down. 182,000 is like, you know, what, 25% of his chips?
Sexton out, and now the chip leader, Marcello. Can't play his queen high, so the only one left to get by is Robbie. And he's got a jack 8 of hearts. He's in the big blind.
Easy fold. They haven't heard from Z in 4 days, so they all think he has aces, you know?
It's so true. Well, you get the respect, and Exia's gonna get his respect and pick up a little something there. We're back here, and this one is going on right now. Let's go to the felt. Rocco Palumbo has raised with ace-jack to 48. Everybody folds around to Robbie, and Robbie's got a king-jack of spades.
Call.
He's gonna call it. Xia Lin looks at an ace. 6 of diamonds. He's going all in with this. He's shoving.
Why? Why go all in? I mean, you waited 4 days to move all in, and now you're going to do it with ace-6 of diamonds over the top of 2 people, at least one of which is likely to call you?
I'm all in.
Well, Rocco's saying, I'm all in. He's going back over the top with his ace-jack, and he's going to make Robbie lay down his hand. They squeezed him out.
Good luck.
So Rocco right now in a great position to knock out Xia Lin.
Wow.
Exia, they call him Tom Dwan, 87. That's his nickname, because he loves Tom Dwan. And he needs to get some luck here.
You could just call him All I Do Is Fold.
Ace-jack up against ace-6. Can Exia get lucky?
What a horrible flop for the ace-6. A 7 comes, he makes a straight. Yes, but he still loses. So there's a bunch of cards that will just kill his hand where he can't win. But a 7, it's basically over. Queen, it's basically over.
That's right.
Jack, it's basically over.
Yep. Wow. Here comes the 4th street for Exia. Oh, that's a straight there.
Oh, my goodness. Think about this. If Xia doesn't go crazy in this hand, think about this.
Yes.
Rocco goes broke on this hand.
You're right.
Because, oh, my goodness, Robbie would have made a king-high straight and busted him.
Xia Lin, he is out in 5th place. Gonna take home 30,000 euros. The Italian has to say goodnight. They're the beautiful Royal Flush girls enjoying Venice, Italy. We are having a good time here, too. I'm with Phil Hellmuth. And right now, our chip leader is a guy that works in a hardware store, non-professional player, Marcello Montagner, out in front with 2.1 million. 4 players remain. Into the felt we go. Action on that man from the hardware store, Marcello. This time he has an uneventful 9-5, folds the hand.
We call it the Dolly Parton hand.
That's right. That is right. Good movie back then, wasn't it?
Yeah, a long time ago. Don't date yourself, Vince.
I did. Roby Begni with a king-queen. Gonna raise with the button, makes it 50,000 to go. Rocco gonna lay it down. Our very own Mike Sexton now with an ace-9 of clubs.
Mike is, you know, he has 2 options, obviously. He's never folding. He can raise it or call it.
Raise.
He says raise. He has made it 105 to go. Mike Sexton doesn't like to call hands. He either likes to get out or raise.
I'd like to see him raise a little bit more. He only raised, you know, 50,000 basically, 55,000. And I think I'd like to see him raise a little bit more.
Well, he's been called here.
Because he wants to just win it here and now.
Here we go with the flop.
Ace-9 of clubs is too vulnerable. But not on that flop. Now, that's a great flop for the ace-9 of clubs. If you had the best hand before the flop, you have the best hand now. go ahead and bet it and take it.
Well, that's exactly what Mike's going to do. 80,000 with ace high. A little tickler into Robbie, who got none of that. And Robbie's going to lay it down. The master at work, Mike Sexton, taking down this hand, Phil.
Yeah, patience, patience, patience. And then when you do make a few C bets like that, people give your bets respect.
Mike Sexton at the table looks so benign. You know, he's just so gentlemanly. There's no aggression on his face like, oh, don't do it because I'm going to come back all the time. He puts you into that sleepy sort of phase. I got him down now. That's what he does. That's his strength.
That's the Mike Sexton you see.
Yeah.
That's the Mike Sexton you know is different. He's not going to let you run him over.
We know you have an important decision this year when it comes to where you play online poker in America. Oh wait, a lot of you can't. Well, we're proposing a new place to play poker in the USA, Club WPT Gold. That's right, online poker is back in America. 3 people who pre-register this week at clubwptgold.com will win a golden passport for a $5 million free roll tournament this December in Las Vegas. When you register, use promo code YouTube to be eligible to win a golden passport. Good luck and see you soon on Club WPT Gold.
We'll see what happens. Marcello with a quick fold.
I'm sure it's benefited Mike to see all these different styles. He has a, you know, he's a Hall of Famer with a ton of experience. He's in a great position. Mike Sexton will win this tournament.
Please.
Well, right now it's on Robbie. He is going to raise with Jack, 8 of diamonds with the button. Makes it 50,000 to go. Rocco Palumbo came in as a short stack, and now he's doing quite well with close to 1.2 million. Will not play that hand, though.
The 8-9 of hearts. Interesting laydown there. Not really a young person type of laydown. But look, the young person folded the 8-9, and the old guy called with the 6-4 of hearts.
He really did.
Role reversal.
Mike's going to stick around, and look at this. Bingo, bango, bongo, like he would say. He has flopped the nuts, and he's going to check it.
Look at that flop. That is just a thing of beauty. He has flopped the nuts straight. There's no flush draws.
Robbie going to check behind him. Ace of clubs on the turn.
Well, ace is one of those cards where I just think Robbie has to bet. He has to represent the ace. Mike could easily have a hand like, you know, 6-7 suited, Queen Jack. So Robbie has to represent the ace and fire here.
To Mike's delight, he's got the pigeon betting, and it's 55,000.
Now Mike has to consider his options. Miracle against miracle, Robbie could have a 4, and in that one case, a big raise makes a lot of sense. Or maybe he has an ace and Mike thinks he'll call.
All right, repop, yeah, makes it $1.80 to go.
Too much. I think he raised a little bit too much. I mean, Robbie has nothing anyway,
yeah.
But I'd like to see him raise a little bit less than that. Give Robbie a chance to call if he had ace-8, you know.
Yeah, well, Robbie's going to release the hand. Mike Sexton picking up that pot. Just flopping the nuts.
Chop and shutta, as we say. Mike's chop and shutta. But seriously, I did have fun playing with the Italian players, and they have such passion for the game.
Action's on Mike, a quick fold by him.
And I folded the 6-4, so he just flopped a straight with that hand. What's he doing?
That's right. Marcello out, and now Robbie Begni.
Ace-8, great hand to have in the small blind here. And, you know, I mean, you look at the blinds are 12 and 24,000. He's sitting on, you know, 500,000. So basically he has 20 big blinds. Some people would move in with that hand. I don't like that play, but the math is close to where you're probably, you know, it's getting close where you're supposed to almost move in with that hand.
Lucky didn't, because right behind him, Rocco has picked up ace-king.
How lucky has Rocco been against Robbie?
All in.
And Rocco says, I'm going to go all in. I'm going to push you all in.
Yep, and the all-in raise may allow Robbie to get away from his hand. Rocco sent a message. I speak Texas Hold'em. I'm sending a message. I have a big hand, and Robbie apparently speaks some Texas Hold'em. Let's see if he can decipher the code.
Yes.
He is a computer software engineer. Can he decipher the code, the Hold'em code? and fold this hand, because I think he can fold this hand.
This would be a good getaway.
And I think he should fold this hand.
He looks disappointed, though.
It's interesting, you know, some of the new generation internet kids would call with the ace-8 there, thinking that their opponent had any kind of ace-high or a king-queen or a king-jack.
Well, he does the right thing.
I'd say that's a very good laydown.
Sure. Rocco a little disappointed. He couldn't trap his man right there.
What does he want? He keeps he had aces against his ace-queen earlier.
Wow, what hands Rocco is picking up. Plus, he's playing well as well. Who will become the WPT champion from Venice, Italy here tonight? We will see. Action on Marcello. This time, he's got a king-9. He's going to make it 51,000 to go. And now Robbie takes a look at, a couple 10s. Pretty strong. Robbie considers himself a professional for the last 2 years.
All in.
And he's going to go all in with it. Now it's on Rocco. Folds his hand. Mike out.
Pretty standard all in here. Now Marcello, it's, you know, 407,000 more to him. King-9 seems like it's just a very, very, very easy fold here.
470.
Marcello Montagner. He looks sort of like an Italian actor, a movie star. So he looks well dressed.
Yes, he does.
Very cosmopolitan.
Yep.
But this would be just an awful call.
Wow, he's counting the chips, really? They look dangerously close to being in there, too, in the pot.
That would be a major mistake if these chips go in. This would be a terrible...
The K9.
Terrible call, yeah, just with King-9. But he is taking a long time. Roby Begni with a solid pair of 10s.
Well, he might dress well, but a suave player would have folded the hand a long time ago.
Winds up doing the right thing. And Roby Begni, the former engineer, he worked for computers for 20 years, will take the pot very nicely. As you can see, Robbie struggling here with 561,000 in chips. Mike Sexton, 1.4, Marcello, 2 million, and Rocco Palumbo with 1.1. And here we go. Action on Robbie, our short stack. And he won't play that junk. Around to Rocco. Oh, it's not aces again for Rocco. It's a nothing hand.
48.
But, oh, look at this. He's going to raise. Makes it 48,000 with a junk hand. Sexton out and Marcello out. So look at that. That's impressive.
If you can get away with a lot of raising and taking down pots, that's the purest. That's just beautiful. If one raise wins you the blinds and antes, and you can get away with that a fair amount, every button, it's just beautiful.
Well, you're right. It is beautiful. He is super aggressive here tonight. His game is picking up beautifully.
And the only defense is to re-raise someone like that. And Mike is in the perfect position to do it. He's watched all the video. He knows what to do. I'd like to see him step up his game just a little bit.
But this time he's not going to do it. He folds his hand. Marcello, though, with an ace-6 of spades in the small blind.
So Rocco's min raised it to 48,000 here. Good move, Marcello. I like the re-raise here. Make it about 150,000. Just end this thing.
But no, interestingly enough, he makes it a total of 85.
That's like the smallest re-raise I've seen from anybody all day. That's like almost a min re-raise. It's crazy. Only 37,000 more. You don't want people to call when you have the ace-6 of spades. Make the big re-raise and end it.
Well, Robbie has folded, and Rocco will, of course, make this call. He's been induced to call.
37, yeah, totally induced to call.
And so we've got ace-6 up against queen 10. And we are flopping, and there's a 10 just like that with 2 7s. So Rocco has outflopped Marcello.
Marcello checks, good. Rocco, I like his check. Here's why I like it, because if he has the best hand, He's trapping his opponent, and oh, what a great trap card that is.
Better and better. Hits the 10, so he has 10s full.
Also, Rocco, if, for example, Marcello had the ace-jack of diamonds on that flop, Rocco didn't want to get raised off of it, so he made a nice check.
Well, Marcello's betting 100,000.
Now, Marcello only had 85,000 in this pot. Okay, now his $100,000 bet here is fine with me. He needs to find out. I mean, ace high is probably good, and he needs to go ahead and make the bet.
Oh, and Rocco is going to make the nice okie-dokie call. Show tune's going off in his head. A nice performance.
There's a 4, so now basically what Marcello has is a bluff catcher. He has an ace, but really there is no bluff because the board is 10-10, 7-7. So what he needs to do is check and probably fold here.
But he's not doing what you're saying, Phil.
Marcello, check and fold. Check and fold.
Not doing it. He's going to make a bet.
225,000.
He's going to donate.
Listen, he only had 85,000 in there up until the board was 10-10, 7-7. Putting 100 in there was like, gives you all the information you need. Now he wants to bet $225,000. This is a meltdown, Vince.
Back to the hardware store.
Oh my
goodness.
play.
And there comes the over the top.
600,000 from Rocco. Okay, so now Marcello has the world's easiest fold. Let's go to the next hand. He lost way too much money on this hand.
Yep. Uh-oh.
Oh my God, he's called this. He's just given Rocco the tournament.
That's
He's
incredible.
given him 600,000 on the river.
Oh boy.
That was a horrendous play. Wow.
Oh man.
Now that's going to send him back to the hardware store.
Don't count out Mike Sexton yet. His chance of becoming a WPT champion on the line tonight. This time he picks up a nice hand. Ace-queen. And he's going to raise to 90,000.
Look at this. It's the third time that Mike has raised and an opponent has picked up a king-queen. The first one, Xia, basically folded the king-queen when Mike raised with, I believe it was a pair of 5s maybe. The second time, Robbie called him with king-queen. Mike won that pot. And Marcello has king-queen suited and, of course, called.
Yes, Robbie and Rocco go away.
Mike's in great shape. He's going to bet every flop here no matter what comes. Marcello has one chance and one chance only. He needs exactly a king on the flop. Not very likely.
But we will see it. Oh, it is a king.
But
Just
possible.
Like that. Oh, boy.
That's ugly because here comes Mike. He has to fire.
100,000.
Now, the minute that Mike should basically be done with his hand because Marcello just called so quickly. It looks like a king-jack for real.
And here we go into the turn. A jack comes up. So Mike does have a straight draw, inside straight draw. He's going to check. Marcello quickly betting 100,000.
At this point, Mike really can't beat anything. Maybe 7-8 suited. So, you know, maybe he puts him on 6-8 suited and decides to call 100,000 to try to hit, you know, a queen, an ace, or a 10.
Oh, he's gonna call this.
Yeah.
So
he's getting
we're
a lot
going
of
to the
odds.
river.
9, almost. He needed a 10, not a 9 to make the straight. That's how afraid they are of
Check,
Mike.
check,
He's going to
yeah.
check top pair with a big kicker.
It's almost like Marcello expected to lose that. He just...
Yeah.
You know.
I check, Mike. I check. I know how tight you're playing.
Yeah. There. WPT Champions Cup. Who will become the champion, have their name inscribed on that beautiful trophy? Like all the champions, we will see. But right now, the antes are up to 5,000. Blinds 15 and 30. Action on Roby Begni. He's on a short stack. He's got queen jack.
That's okay. Go ahead and raise it. No worries.
Exactly what he does. Makes it 70,000. But whoa-oh. Rocco behind him with ace-queen.
It's unbelievable.
Right.
Aces against ace-queen. I mean, every ace-8 against ace-king. Every single time that Robbie has a hand, he's playing very patiently. Rocco has a better hand.
You're right.
It starts to drive a man batty, insane.
Oh, he's going to try
Poker bratty.
He's going to try to punish him. Makes it 155. Sexton out. And Marcello also folding. So back around to the man that originally raised, who looks absolutely disgusted. He's Just saying to himself, who is this guy on my left? Get out of here. And he's gonna fold it.
Your mind says, you know what, I have to call. But your heart deep inside says, you know what, the right play is a fold. He has it again. It's disgusting, though.
Wow, Rocco Palumbo has a bracelet under his belt. He's married, 4-year-old son, former accountant, making things work tonight. But onto this hand, Mike Sexton, quick fold. And now Marcello with a jack, a deuce, is gonna raise. Making it 110,000. And Robbie, be getting tortured here tonight, has ace-6. Could this be the shove hand? Blinds are 15 and 30.
Sitting on 420,000 here.
Just take these guys out of the play, perhaps. Try to pick this one up. Let's see what Robbie does. Oh, boy.
I like the fact he's taking his time, thinking about it, trying to decide. I think the thoughts running through his head, I'm a short stack, I have an ace.
I'm all in.
There you go. He's going to push it.
Robbie sorted it all out. He figured it all out, and he made a very
out.
nice push, and this pot is over.
And Marcello, uncallable with a jack-deuce, you would think.
305,000 more. Come on. Doesn't make any sense, although he is melting down.
Whoa, what the heck?
But look at this. He's counting. He's wasting our time, Vince.
I would think so. This is more or less uncallable.
Just like earlier in the show with the King-9 and Robbie had the 2 10s, and, you know, he wasted our time. I think that, you know, Marcello, as some of the young poker players would like to say, I'd like to have that minute of my life back. Very clever.
But you never know.
The young breed.
He's really considering it. He's doing it. He's making this call with jack-deuce.
He just called with a jack-deuce offsuit. Is there a psychiatrist in the house?
Oh, boy. If you're Robbie, you love this. You love this action.
This is a meltdown of magnificent proportions.
Well, he's a dog, obviously, but not that bad of a dog. Still a bad call.
He just gave 700,000 away drawing dead,
Robbie's
and now
loving
he's
it.
trying to give it all away drawing dead. What
you're
is
right.
this? This is horrendous play.
You never know. Maybe he'll get lucky with his jack-deuce. Let's take a look at the flop. It's a queen, 7.
Yeah, good luck now.
Great
getting
for
lucky.
Robbie. Has a big chance of doubling up. Nothing appearing from Marcello. You're right. He is sort of melting down here.
This is he must realize right now, what am I doing?
5 of hearts on the turn, so no help there for Marcello. Robbie with a big chance to double up.
Very simple, Vince. There's 3 deuces and 3 jacks, okay? So 38 wins to 6 wins right now. Over 6-1 favorite. And Robbie's back.
Oh, no!
But no! The 6-1 shot does not hold up. The river's a deuce. And we're going to say bye-bye to Robbie.
Unbelievable. Marcello feeling it perhaps with jack-deuce, makes the call of the year. Makes it on the river. He is knocked out. Roby Begni in a shocking way on the river.
What you call call of the year, I would call something else.
Well, we got to say goodnight to Roby Begni. Going to take home 40,000 euros. Awful, awful river card for him. Let's see what he has to say.
Shaping up for Mike Sexton.
Vince, I'm glad Vince is. I'm glad that Phil Helmut's in the box with you because I wouldn't be able to explain that last hand.
I play very well all the tournament, and I want to reach first or runner-up. That's my least place. I want a fourth is not enough for me. I want the first place. It's WPT. You don't play WPT every day. Then reaching the final table, it's a must.
We know you have an important decision this year when it comes to where you play online poker in America. Oh wait, a lot of you can't. Well, we're proposing a new place to play poker in the USA, Club WPT Gold. That's right, Online poker is back in America. 3 people who pre-register this week at clubwptgold.com will win a golden passport for a $5 million free roll tournament this December in Las Vegas. When you register, use promo code YouTube to be eligible to win a golden passport. Good luck and see you soon on Club WPT Gold.
All right, here we go. Chip leader Rocco Palumbo. He's 24 years old. He's catching cards. He's playing well. He's a chip leader with 2.2 million. Marcello Montagner, second chip position. Mike Sexton, Hall of Famer, down in third place with 930. And he's a 5,000. Blinds are 15 and 30. Action going to Rocco. He quickly folds. And now Mike Sexton with a king-queen. He has raised it to 60,000, Phil.
Yeah, I like his raise here. I like the min raise here. I think it's a good move.
Marcello's going to call with 7-5 of clubs.
Mike must know that Marcello's played a wide range of hands.
And here is the flop. It's a jack, jack 4. Sexton going to check. Marcello checking behind. Another 4 on the turn.
Now if I'm Mike, I bet, because king high's probably good. Why give your man a free card?
Look at this. They pulled out full houses. The board plays jacks full, and Mike is making a very shrewd bet. He's bet 200,000.
Let me tell you something. There's only 135,000 in the pot. Okay, that means that if Marcello calls, the most he can win is 65,000. So he has to risk 200 to win 65,000 if he's going to call for a tie. Marcello has to call hoping for a split. Yes, it's very likely it's a split, but do you really want to lose 200,000?
That's right. That's why it's such a beautiful bet by Sexton.
Yep.
And Marcello's going to do it. He is going to call for the split pot.
And he gets the 65,000 back. Okay, you risk 200 to win 65. I really like Mike's bet on the river there.
Well, Mike's a little disappointed that his man called him, but he respects it. Marcello Montagner is not a professional player. What a feat he is having here tonight. He actually works in a hardware store in Italy. And they're the beautiful Royal Flush girls. Enjoying the moment.
He's the suavest dressed hardware guy I've ever seen.
Yeah. Has
Marcello.
Great patches on his jacket. It's just wonderful. All right, back to this hand. Mike Sexton quickly folding. And there's Marcello. Kind of looks like an Italian actor.
He does.
He's going to raise with his ace-7. Makes it 60,000 to go. Look at this right behind it. Rocco Palumbo with an ace-8.
Rocco always has the best of it. It's crazy.
Isn't it?
But I think that you're going to see Rocco, look, he's not even looking at his man. He's just going to make a re-raise from a math point of view. So he's used a lot of aggression just from a pure math point of view. Da-da-da-da-da, computing, da-da-da, ace-8 should be good. I'm going to re-raise. Da-da-da-da-da.
Well, he is good. He's got a World Series bracelet under his belt. He's raised to 150, and Marcello's going to stick around. We have ace-8 versus ace-7. Here comes the flop. It's a king-jack-5, no help to either player.
Now that is a very dangerous flop for ace-8 offsuit here, but Rocco has no fear. There's 315,000 in the pot, and here comes the C-bet.
Yep, he's going to do the continuation bet with ace-high. Looks like 125,000 into the hardware store man.
And Marcello, if he could use that creative aggression that he used with the jack-deuce offsuit, which we all piled on and hated, if he could ever come up with a check raise in a spot like this, it would be great for him, but he just has not bluffed enough.
Well, he is going to lay it down.
He's played an awful wide range of hands, but not bluffed enough. That makes the kind of guy you can just pick apart and beat up. That's what Rocco's doing to him.
Three-handed poker at the Casino di Venezia. Action going to Marcello. He's going to raise with an ace-queen. And now Rocco with an ace-jack.
Finally, he's on the other side of one of these, three-handed. Now listen, this is where you look to see, does this guy have something that can take him to the next level in poker? Does he look at Marcello and say, wow, he really has a strong hand. This is the time to just call him. So he's just a re-raising machine then.
Yeah, he's going to raise with his ace-jack. Makes it 200,000 to go. Mike Sexton out.
It's pretty standard, pretty hard not for him to re-raise, but I'm always looking for that extra level that makes someone a great player. That level where they just seem to understand when ace-jack is not the best hand.
Well, he raised, and it's going to pay off for him because he hits the jacks on the flop. 2 kings with a jack. They both check very quickly, though. 8 of spades on the turn. So Rocco was behind, but out in front, going to check again. Deuce of hearts on the river, helping neither player.
I actually like the check because he may force, if Marcello does have, like, for example, a pair of 6s, Rocco is going to get paid off here on the river.
Well, finally, Rocco's going to bet the 275.
Pretty lucky for Rocco, though.
Yeah, beautiful flop for him.
Now, this is a tough spot for Marcello. I've, given him some hassle for some stuff, but if he calls here, this is a call I wouldn't blame him.
Well, he's going to call it.
For making.
He's going to call and he's going to lose.
He's going to see the bad news. You hit your jack. You were lucky. I'm not even going to show you. I'm just going to pay it.
Rocco Palumbo starting to roll over these guys. Let's go to the felt. It's on Mike, and he's got a big hand here, Phil.
Yes, he does. But I want to say, if this were a fight, they would have stopped it. Rocco's bludgeoning these guys. He's just killing him. He's like in the ring. He's like just landing jab, 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 jab. These guys are bleeding right now. But here, Mike has a spot to basically get himself right back into the tournament.
Yep.
And Mike has a pair of boxing gloves. He can fight, and he'll start sparring with you. Well, if you don't keep hitting a 10 on him, that is.
Unbelievable. Rocco hitting 10s, out-flopping Sexton. They both check. Good slowdown by Mike.
Well, the impressive thing is that, Mike has checked the flop here with ace-king.
7 on the turn. Oh, boy.
And he went with his instincts. I mean, it was folded so quickly,
Yeah.
It just said, you know what, I know he has it. And so that was pretty impressive.
It looked like that was in your zone. I don't know if it was.
He was exactly 100% right, and it was impressive that he lost so little with ace-king versus king-10. In some of these spots, even there with deuce-3 offsuit, why not just go ahead and re-raise? Because I think Mike knows how aggressively Rocco's playing. He's the one guy that knows what's going on. I mean, he's seen the whole cards, he's seen the type. So Mike's best defense is 3-betting, and I don't know, he just hasn't done that enough so far.
Rocco pushing again, catches 10s on the flop as a king-10 deuce lands. And Marcello with a 7-4 nothing.
Air ball, baby.
He's gonna come out and bet.
He has an air ball, no pair, no draw, nothing.
Nicely done by the hardware store man. However, he's been called, and that's gotta hurt. Jack of hearts on the turn. Now he has a 4 flush, though.
Now he actually picked up a draw. Okay, 80,000 to 310 is not enough to get rid of Rocco. He has to call 80 here. I'm sure he's going to call. It just seems like an easy call. The jack is a little bit threatening because a straight draw, which makes sense, and it was in Marcello's range, just hit. Like, for example, if you had jack 9, you hit a jack, or queen 9, you hit a straight, or queen jack, you hit a jack.
But no, Rocco's going to respect it and lay the hand down.
Wow, for 80,000 to win, wow, 400,000. I'm really surprised. I would really like to have seen him make a call for 80.
Marcello, nicely done by the hardware store man, takes the pot by a nice bet.
We know you have an important decision this year when it comes to where you play online poker in America. Oh wait, a lot of you can't. Well, we're proposing a new place to play poker in the USA, Club WPT Gold. That's right, online poker is back in America. 3 people who pre-register this week at clubwptgold.com will win a golden passport for a $5 million free roll tournament this December in Las Vegas. When you register, use promo code YouTube to be eligible to win a golden passport. Good luck and see you soon on Club WPT Gold.
Let's see if Mike can come back. Actions on Marcello, a quick fold by him. And now Rocco has picked up a king-10. The former accountant is going to raise, makes it 65,000 to go. And Mike Sexton with a king-8. Seems interested. But look at this, Phil.
That's it, Mike. That's what I'm talking about. 3-bet, 3-bet, 3-bet. These guys, they've watched you play tight for 3 days.
530.
You can take advantage of that reputation. How can Rocco call? Rocco has a decent hand with a lot of chips. He even suspects something's wrong. What can he do?
Come on, show me the bluff one time.
Huh?
Show me the bluff one time.
How can I show you the bluff?
Well, his side is a bluff. Something.
Yeah.
Mike Sexton will never show a hand
I'll show you the bluff.
that hasn't been called. I've learned that from him for 11 years, being with him on the World Poker Tour. He stays true to the word.
Rocco said ace size a bluff. When you have a guy that, Rocco, is he serious? Like he's really working. He's really working his corner. He's like a puncher. You know, I mean, the guy's raised like 70% of the hands. I mean, if Mike raised him with jack high, it's not a bluff, for God's sakes. I mean, you know, I mean, come on.
Sometime I have to win a pot off you.
All right, well, Mike Sexton on the ropes here, circling the drain. Can he come back? Mike this time with a jack 9 of hearts with the button. And he's gonna pop it up, makes it 60,000 to go.
Okay. Marcello cannot re-raise him with an ace-7. And Rocco cannot re-raise him with ace-3. They've been re-raising each other. This is how much they respect Mike. That's why he could be doing a lot more bluffing earlier.
Oh, Mike, you're gonna like that flop. Jack 7-6, you picked up jacks?
But his patience is gonna pay off because Marcello is not gonna get away from this hand. Marcello has been leaking major oil, and now he's gonna give all the chips to Mike, and Mike's gonna be right back in there. If he has top pair in a spot where Marcello, who's on mega tilt, could never in a billion years fold ace-7.
Well, Mike's gonna do the right thing. He's betting at 150. Marcello has a piece of that pair of 7s, though, and he's gonna call it.
Yeah, but at this point, Mike is now going to be all in no matter what comes off.
Mike with a big chance here.
He really doesn't want to see a club right now, Mike.
Or an ace. Oh, man. Aces and 7s for Marcello, and he's going to check it into Mike. Oh, boy.
Look at that. And Mike is really, in his mind, he's like, okay, the ace could not have hit him unless he has exactly ace-6 or ace-7. A club draw, Marcello would have probably moved in.
I'm all in.
Oh,
so
man.
Mike has to move in.
Oh, boy. Mike's gone all in, and he's been called.
Here you go. Yes, you hit an ace.
And then some aces and 7s. Sexton
sick.
in tremendous
So
bad
sick.
shape.
Marcello's leaking oil all over the track. Mike hit the oil and went smashed into the wall.
Need a miracle.
He has 2 jacks left in the deck. That's 2 outs. So basically, he's a 20-1 underdog to hit it. That's really bad. Really unlucky ace for him there on the turn.
Mike Sexton's chance of becoming a WPT champion coming down to this card.
He gave himself such a great chance, Mike did. I mean, that's the virtue of being patient.
5 of spades on the river.
Mike is out. Now, Mike has been extraordinarily unlucky in this spot because Marcello, who hasn't outdrawn Rocco one time, hops in there on one of the 3 or 4 that Mike plays and outdraws him in that hand. And, you know, very unlucky spot for Mike.
What are you going to do? Mike Sexton, our Mike Sexton, Hall of Famer, out in 3rd place in Venice. Going to take home 54,000 euros. Let's go see what Mike has to say.
Well, it's always frustrating when you go out at whatever position, whether it's on day 1, day 2, day 3, or the final table if you don't win. So, you know, only one guy can win the tournaments. Just wasn't in the cards for me today, I guess, and maybe I could have played him a little better. Who knows, but it just wasn't my day to win. But, you know, I came to the final table in 3rd chip position. That's where I went out, so pretty standard, I guess.
And the blinds are 15 and 30, and Rocco has raised with a king deuce. And Marcello with a queen 10 of clubs, just calling. And now we're going to see our first flop, the heads-up action. And a queen just like that, 9-6. Queens for Marcello.
Yep, great flop for Marcello.
He's going to check it. Let's see if
70.
Rocco makes the continuation. Of course he does. 70,000, Mike.
70.
Quick call by Marcello. No check raise.
A little surprising he didn't check raise with top pair.
Playing unorthodox here tonight, and here comes the turn card.
Oh, a 10 comes off. Top 2 pair now for Marcello, but he checks here. Man, I would think Rocco would check right behind him. It's just too scary a board. Couple straight possibilities out there. All those middle cards.
Should it?
It's the kind of hand you put a guy on who doesn't re-raise you before the flop, but it's just not Rocco's style to check. He bets out with a gut shot straight draw.
Yeah, 130,000. It's because he's been doing this all night and winning, and this time he's going to be on the other side of it. As Marcello, hardware store man, is going to raise. Like he should, makes it 260 to go. And I think Rocco might get the hint now.
I know Rocco's aggressiveness has certainly paid off for him tonight. No doubt about it.
And there you see a concerned look in the eye of Rocco for like the first time at this final table, Vince. First hit he's taken in a long time at this final table, but Marcello getting on the board.
Yeah, nicely done. There's the WPT Champions Cup. Everybody wants their name on that. But Rocco now, will that be the turning point? We will see. 2.8 versus Marcello's 2.3.
Well, here Rocco looks down at the worst two cards you could start with in a heads-up battle. A 3-deuce offsuit.
Makes a raise, goes to 60,000 with that mess. And Marcello with a queen 10, just calling.
Yeah, playing heads up, this hand is ranked worse than a 7-deuce offsuit and hold'em. Doesn't stop Rocco. King Jack 5 with 2 clubs. Pretty good flop for Marcello. He's got an open-end straight draw.
But he checks it. Rocco with a strong 3 high is betting it 70,000.
Vince, when I see all this, I wish I was back down there playing again. I'd have played a lot more aggressive against this guy, I can tell you.
Quick call, of course, by Marcello.
I knew he was at it, but I just didn't really know. Now I do.
It's a 4. That actually gives Rocco now an open-ended straight draw. Marcello also with a higher open-ended. Well, Marcello checks again, and Rocco. This guy just doesn't know what it's like to slow down.
No, Vince has got the kind of hand that many players would just easily check on the turn. Happy to have a draw.
Well, it's 130,000. Marcello will make this call. We got a nice pot going on.
He's not giving up.
Let's take a look at the river card. Which one of them will get lucky? How about neither? 7 of diamonds.
Well, Marcello has the best hand. He's checked it. And if Rocco fires at this pot, he's liable to win it. But the guy called you raised before the flop, called the bet on the flop, the bet on the turn. Can you fire yet another shell? Rocco knows it's the only way he can win this pot is to bet at it on the river.
Oh, boy, and the former accountant does so. He's betting 200,000.
He has fired 3 barrels at this pot, Vince, with just a 3 high and going to take down the pot. And maybe that's why the guy's got all the chips here tonight. I haven't seen his cards earlier, but all I know is he bet at every pot, it seemed like.
That was the beast that was on your right. Now you see why you pushed out of this thing.
I do.
Well, this is great heads-up action we got right now between 2 Italians. They're both tough.
Well, Rocco, about where he started this heads-up battle, 3 million to 2 million.
Blinds are 15 and 30,000. And action's going to be on Marcello this time. Non-professional player, only been playing 4 years. Used to watch the World Poker Tour and learn, he said. What a chance of a lifetime here tonight. With a 9-8, just calling. Rocco not going to get aggressive with a 6-5, so we are seeing a cheap flop. Flop is a king 6-7. So Marcello with an open-ended straight draw. Rocco with a piece of that pair of 6s. Rocco's checked. Marcello's betting 75.
Well, Rocco's got bottom pair here, as you can see. Going to make the call with it.
Certainly is. Turn card is an 8 of diamonds.
Well, this gives Rocco an open-end straight draw as well, but as you can see, the way the cards lie, Marcello now has best hand and best draw. Rocco checks, and quickly, Marcello reaching for chips. 110,000. Now Marcello, who really hasn't made a lot of moves here, at least it didn't appear like at this table. He made a lot of calls.
Rocco's going to make this call, though.
Well, indeed he is.
Down to the river we go. And a 4 that gives Rocco a straight.
Incredible. Now look at this. Marcello betting out of turn here, 100,000.
Yes, he certainly is. He bet out of turn.
No.
Well,
Okay,
he says, okay, he says, okay, I'll take it back.
Nope,
That's
it
not
has
the
to stay
case.
in there right now.
Well, it depends. If Rocco checks, that bet stands.
Yep.
But if he bets out, then Marcello has an opportunity to take the bet back and not put anything in the pot. So obviously, Rocco, who's made a straight on the river, should check here.
Yeah, they're getting some free money for sure.
But he's betting 400,000 here, Vince. This gives Marcello a chance to get out and save that 100,000 even.
This is a definite bad move here by Rocco. He's made a major mistake here.
Well, the tournament director now says you get an opportunity to take that back because he bet.
Marcello grabbed those pinks pretty quickly, too.
He sure did.
He's only got 8s.
He's got
400,000. You can take your money back. You feel like you got a bargain, perhaps. Or do you want to stick it in there, saying, what is this guy betting for if he has something? If he has a 5.
That's exactly right.
But look at this. He's going to lay it down.
He lays it down, and Rocco has played great all night long, but in my view, that's a mistake. I would check, let the guy bet the 100,000, and then raise him with my straight, where you're guaranteed to make at least 100,000 there.
All right, the blinds are going up to 20 and 40,000. The accountant, Rocco Palumbo, former accountant, I should say, is the chip leader with close to 3.3 million. And the hardware store employee, Marcello Montagner, he's a non-professional, only been playing poker for years with about 1.9 million.
Well, 2 Italians fighting it out for the crown to become WPT Venice Grand Prix champion.
Rocco with a 9-3 this time, gonna raise, makes it 80,000 to go. And Marcello with just a Jack-6 will make this call.
You just see how aggressive Rocco has been from the get-go at this final table. Let's see if it works for him here.
All right, whoa, a 6 just like that. 6-8-5.
Well, Marcello has 2 6s. He's got second pair and checks.
Rocco with the inside straight draw.
Well, he also checks.
Going to the turn. King of diamonds. Helps neither player. Marcello checking his 6s.
Well, Rocco going to try to represent this. He's got a king in his hand. Going to bet here.
Yeah, sure is. 130,000. He did raise before the flop. Maybe Marcello will put him on it. Nope. He's not a believer quite yet.
Not believing it. Has the best hand with the 2 6s.
Down to the river we go.
And the 7 comes off. Rocco has made a 9 high straight, hits the gut shot.
Marcello checking again. What a card for Rocco.
Well, Rocco was stealing, and now makes pretty close to the nuts with the 9 high straight.
And what's the amount you can get out of your, 400,000.
Vince, this is a pot-sized bet. There's 420,000 in the pot. He hasn't made a bet of a pot-sized bet all night long. He's trying to make it look like he's stealing.
Yeah, Marcello gets away from it, though.
Yep, good
Nice
lay
drop.
down by Marcello, but it's the kind of bet that looks like a bluff.
Yep, it did, but it wasn't.
No.
Marcello, you're a genius.
We know you have an important decision this year when it comes to where you play online poker in America. Oh wait, a lot of you can't. Well, we're proposing a new place to play poker in the USA, Club WPT Gold. That's right, online poker is back in America. 3 people who pre-register this week at clubwptgold.com will win a golden passport for a $5 million free roll tournament this December in Las Vegas. When you register, use promo code YouTube to be eligible to win a golden passport. Good luck and see you soon on Club WPT Gold.
Heads-up action continues. As you can see, the winner is going to take home 140,000 euros. I'm with Mike Sexton, who finished 3rd here. What an effort. But we're down to these 2 right now.
Well, Rocco with well over a 2-to-1 chip lead now. Marcello picking up a decent hand here. King Jack of clubs. Going to raise it up to 80,000.
Yes, and Rocco Palumbo with a Jack-9. He has been dominating all night long, everyone at the table, and he's going to speculate with his Jack-9.
He makes hands when he needs to, and he steals them when he needs to. So why not play every pot?
All right, the flop comes up, King 8-5. That's good for Marcello, hitting his kings.
Yep, great flop for Marcello.
Nothing happening for Rocco, but look at what is he doing here?
Wow. He's leading right out into the pre-flop razor. This is something you don't see very often at all. I'm certain Marcello feels like he's got the best hand with the 2 kings. Marcello just going to call him, though.
Yeah, with the Big flop and a very solid kicker. Queen on the turn.
Rocco has a gut shot straight draw now, but obviously must catch a 10 to win this pot. It's the only card he can win with.
He's continuing to bet 175,000 this time.
You just think the guy would have check raised with a flush draw. Certainly if he'd have flopped 2 pair. But Marcello still not raising, just calling with the 2 kings.
Very interesting. Down to the river we go.
Now the 5 of hearts comes off, so the board pairs and a possible flush is out there.
And now Rocco finally slowing down.
Now Marcello finally going to bet top pair here.
Yep, 200,000. Rocco with just jack high. He's just throwing up the white flag, perhaps.
Just the look on his face says he's not going to raise it. But you think he's contemplating a call here? Thinking his opponent might have a straight draw? I mean, that's the only hand he can beat.
Well, I think he's going to lay it down. He's just taking a lot of time here.
Well, why are you posturing? Just throw it away if the guy bets.
They are Italian, Mike. They're dramatic. They take their time. They're passionate. They take it personally, their cards. But he's a former account.
Wow, he called him, Vince. Has to put him on specifically a 6-7 to make that call.
And look at this semi-slow roll here. As Marcello throws up the king. Oh, man.
Well, Rocco laughs, but very puzzling. Must have put him on exactly a straight draw, Vince. There's no other hand he could call there in that spot.
Yeah.
Very strangely played hand there.
Bad evaluation. And to the felt we go. Rocco this time with a jack 8. He's going to raise. Makes it 80,000 to go.
Well, Vince, I guess maybe one of the times to make a hero call, as we say, is when you got the big chip lead and everything's going well for you. But
yeah,
that one backfired on Rocco. Let's see if it'll cost him.
So Marcello this time has a pair of 9s. Wakes up with a real hand, a wired pair. And he's going to re-raise. Makes it 170 to go.
Well, Rocco just got burned with a jack 9 offsuit. He could get burned again with a jack 8 offsuit here. He plays this pot.
90,000 in addition. And he's got 3.7, so he can afford to speculate.
Well, I'm not sure you want to give away chips with this kind of hand, but we'll see what happens.
Oh, an 8, jack 8, 2 pair for Rocco.
Oh, buckle up, folks. We're going to see some fireworks here. Marcello's got a pair and an open-end straight draw. Rocco, as you can see, is flopped top and bottom pair. How lucky is this guy?
Wow, Marcello coming out swinging like he should. 180. With the open-ended, with the pair.
Rocco's definitely going to raise here, Vince. If your opponent's got king, queen, or ace, queen, or ace, king, you just can't give him a free card here.
That is right. And he does raise, makes it 480 in total.
Now, if you're Marcello, you've got 2 9s and open-end straight draw. Do you want to ship it all and get it all in here? Maybe your opponent's got king, queen.
No, he's just going to call it.
Maybe thinking if a baby card comes off and the guy fires again, I can get away from this hand.
This is a very big pot.
Well, he's got over 800,000 left, but let's see what happens.
Rocco, the former accountant, in a good place, and a 4 of diamonds makes it even better.
Wow, now Marcello's going all in. A snap call there by Rocco. Just surprised if Marcello was going to make that play, just wouldn't have got it all in on the flop.
Though it wouldn't have helped any because we know how strong Rocco was. So they turn up the cards.
Well, Marcello not dead. He's got 10 outs, as we say. He wins the pot. He makes a straight. A 7 or a queen would give him a straight. He also wins with a 9. If the cards lie, Rocco about a 3-1 favorite to win this tournament right here.
Rocco Palumbo 1 card away from becoming a WPT champion. Here we go to the river. We're going to burn and turn. Let's see it.
It's a 3. There it is. Rocco Palumbo has done it.
He certainly has. Rocco Palumbo will take home 140,000 euros. He's the WPT champion, Mike.
And a deserving champion, Vince.
But before we talk to our champion, let's talk to our runner-up, Marcello.
Sono molto soddisfatto lo stesso. Un secondo posto comunque a un WPT penso che sia importante. È che non riesco mai ad arrivare primo. Ho fatto sempre secondo, però va bene, dai. Sarà per la prossima volta magari. Si spera.
Well, congratulations to you and to Italy for taking down this title. One more time, let's hear it for our champion, Kimberly, back to you.